That's a man.
Peyton Manning stepping out.
It's the Zion Show.
Pass is caught by Joe. The crowd and the band play on here at Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. Neutral site, so-called, for today's Atlantic Coast Conference battle. Jefferson Pilot Sports presents Atlantic Coast Conference football. Today, live from Jacksonville, the top-seeded Florida State Seminoles take on the Blue Devils of Duke. Florida State deferred their option. Duke will receive the opening kickoff. There's Sebastian Janikowski. 33 kickoffs, 27 have not been returned. Ben Ertlejack and Scotty Montgomery are deep, and we are underway in Jacksonville. And this one will roll out of bounds, and Duke will get a rare break, get out to the 40-yard line on the out of bounds, and get a chance to get good field position for that first drive. And of course, as we told you, Bobby Campbell is going to be coming out at quarterback for the Duke Blue Devils. Campbell on the season, 21 out of 54, 38%. He has one touchdown. He's thrown 2 interceptions. He's a junior from Hicksville, New York. 9 career touchdown passes. He's got good size, 6'5", 215, and he's got a big job here today. He's at the 35-yard line on the penalty. Richmond Flowers split wide to the left and wide right. 4 wide outs here, Doc, in this first possession for Duke. And they'll hand off to Dwayne Epperson, and Epperson is going nowhere. He's grounded there at the 34-yard line. Jerry Johnson on the tackle. Let's take a look at our Geico starting lineup. Scotty Montgomery and Richmond Flowers, the key of this back and receiver set group, because they've got to get some numbers, as we said, Doc.
And up front, you know, that is a good point, but Fleming and Lynch, 2 guys had a lot of pressure on them to contain the tackles of FSU.
Second down and 10. And second down 10 call goes to Epperson again. This time it's for positive yardage out to the 38-yard line. Corey Simon at the heart of that. And that's a good place to start with our defensive lineup. Corey Simon, the Brian Piccolo winner, and an All-American with some great help, and with Jerry Johnson and Jamal Reynolds and David Warren.
And the linebackers quick as ever again. Poley, Jennings, you look at Allen, they lead the team in tackles, and in the secondary, great cover guys across the board.
Edwards, Gibson, Key, Thomas call their names a lot today. Third down now coming, no score, first possession. And 7 yards to go for the first down. His first pass of the day, Campbell in pressure, throws it, and almost now intercepted. Intercepted by Allen. And he's brought down at the 49-yard line of Duke in a pass that maybe Campbell shouldn't have thrown.
Well, there goes so much for the analysis. You can't give the ball up in the first 8 minutes. The first possession, third play, they do it. Brian Allen now second in leading the team in tackles, and then he comes up with an interception. Let's take a look at it. Now you watch the eyes. First mistake, telegraphing, and then under pressure. Sometimes it's best to just eat it. And then great athleticism. Once again, a trademark of Mickey Andrews' group on defense.
Brian Allen with the interception. That's his first career. Campbell thinks this one over. 13 opportunities, 7 touchdowns. Teams turned over. Asked North Carolina last week. They were down by 4 touchdowns before the first commercial break. Here's Weinke. Throws to the flats, and it is complete to Laveranues Coles. And Coles moves upfield to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 14. Let's go back to our Geico starting lineups and take a look at the backs and receivers for the Seminoles. Dan Kendra and Travis Minor will get traffic in the backfield.
Thomas and Williams are 2 big tackles. Strong, got good feet.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Weinke. Chris Weinke back at quarterback. Stands in with a short drop to Coles again, complete at the 25. Second straight pass to Laveranues Coles, tackled by Darius Clark. And it's going to be a gain of another 10 yards on the play for Florida State. Laveranues Coles out there with Peter Warrick that time. It's a first down for the Seminoles. They're moving the chains, trying to take advantage of this turnover.
What's the tempo? You know, how do you deal with this in practice? If you're Duke, now you got it. It's right in your face, and you have to deal with it.
Man coverage all around on 4 wide receivers. Peter Warrick is the inside receiver at the top of the 3 you see to the top of your screen. Weinke is throwing to Warrick. Behind him, he was wide open. Clark was 5 yards back.
Now that's strange.
Pass intended for Peter Warrick.
Ryan Stallmeyer had good pressure on the quarterback that time.
Incomplete.
And Weinke threw before the break of Peter Warrick and behind it.
But no pressure on Peter Warrick. I mean, I don't know why Darius Clark went away from that. I mean, he's the guy you want to get up and press and get around.
No huddle for Florida State out of the shotgun. Weinke there with Minor. His lone setback. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Over the middle, it is complete to Travis Minor, and he's brought down at the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 11 on the play. It brings up another first down for Florida State. Ryan Stallmeyer in on the tackle for the Duke Blue Devils.
Stevie really did a pretty good job because he kept everything right in front of him. That's all you can do. Florida State makes a living on yards after the catch. Now let's watch this. You talk about Stallmeyer, see, it's pretty good position. Now you want to get your people to the point of attack, and you want to converge.
First and 10 at the 14, 2 wideouts, Dugans and Warrick. Weinke changing up. He has Kendra, and Minor in the backfield. This is Minor on the pitch. Headed to the corner. He'll turn it up at the 5, and he's close to a first down at the 4-yard line. Kevin Lewis in on the tackle along with Eric Jones. It'll be close enough. It might be close enough for a measure.
Really scary, man, when you start to go right after their best players. There you see the void right in there. Tackle on tackle, helmet on, and watch this. So square up the shoulders. There's Warrick. There's the Heisman candidate right outside, giving you effort on the edge.
On 2nd and 1, Kendra, the fullback, gets the first down to the 3-yard line. And Florida State wasting no time. In 7 plays, they moved from the 49 down to the 2-yard line. And they have first and goal there, trying to take advantage of the turnover. Kevin Lewis, along with Chris Combs, in on the tackle. Combs had hoped to be playing on the other end of the field some before having to defend their own red zone. First and goal at the 3. Weinke back to throw. Weinke over the middle as a receiver, complete. It's Warrick for the touchdown. Lamar Grant covering, but Peter Warrick has scored through the air for the 3rd time this season.
You see it on film, and you just don't get a good take for it. And you see it up close, and it's too quick for you.
Sebastian Janikowski is in for the point after, as Peter Warrick has taken a 2-yard pass from Chris Weinke to cap an 8-play drive. Janikowski's kick is good, and we'll see Wenke's 7th touchdown pass of this season, and the 3rd in direction of Peter Warrick. Welcome back to Alltel Stadium. How do you spell Heisman? Well, it just might be Peter Warrick. 2nd pass in his direction, and the first that he caught was for a 2-yard score. And that's what we have on the board right now. 7-0 Florida State over top-ranked Duke, or top-ranked, against Duke, which is yet to pick up its first ACC win.
Now you pick your poison. They blew. Duke squandered great field position. They may not get that again, the way he's kicks off.
Get a chance, and I don't think they're going to get it this time. Deep in the end zone, out of the end zone, over the head of Richmond Flowers. And it'll come out to the 20, 1st and 10. 1st and 10, Duke, they're at their own 20. 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, 4 total in the formation. And out of the shotgun, Bobby Campbell. First pass was thrown for an interception. Steps up, fires, and overthrows. Looks like Kyle Moore, and he got hit. And hit hard by Sean Key. Key on the coverage.
Well, again, let's watch the eyes of the quarterback, and we'll find out what happens with the receiver. Whenever you go down the middle, down the pipe, that's hitting it right down the pipe there. You're in trouble. And you got to give him a lot of credit because Moore never flinched. Now let's watch again the eyes of the quarterback. See, you telegraph the message. So that gives a free safety. I mean, he just licks his chops.
Wiped up Kyle Moore. 3 wide receivers. Again to the short side of the field, and up the middle it goes to Epperson. And Wayne Epperson, from the state of Florida, gets a first down after the 35-yard line. Epperson, actually, he's from Falls Church, Virginia. And Corey Simon, All-ACC and first-team All-American, makes the tackle. 15-yard gain for Duke.
Well, that's the key to any success you want to get against the tackles. They're so quick, they charge up field. If you can pop right at them, you do increase your chances.
Carl Franks lamented to us the lack of a ground game for Duke, being able to balance what they can do in the air. Out of the shotgun, here comes Campbell, and his pass is deflected by, you guessed it, Corey Simon. And a holding call is going to be flagged in here on top of that.
Jamal Reynolds had a real nice rush from his right side.
Jim Knight, our referee. And here's the call.
Holding. Forward pass.
So let's see whether we can see the holding call.
He comes outside here. Watch him here, right in this angle, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a little strangle move.
In the meantime, Corey Simon was batting down the ball of Bobby Campbell.
You watch, you can see hands are just high. You want to keep the hands inside the framework of the numbers.
1st and 20. Shovel pass ahead. Epperson gets some running room. He's up again. Back to the 35, which is the original line of scrimmage. The 10-yard gain when Corey Simon brings him down for his 3rd tackle of the afternoon.
You look at Duke, they're only averaging 50 yards a game on the ground, but what he just showed us there, Dwayne, he squared his shoulders up. You can't horse around. This is not a game to be cute. You got to square up and you better scat and get out of there. That was very, very, very well done.
2nd and 10, gain of 10 on the play. There aren't many mysteries to what Florida State does defensively. They just do whatever they do well. They've got a blitz on, a rash. Duke picks it up. Campbell on the throw to Erdljack, and good coverage on the play by Clevin Thomas.
Then Erdljack, Derek Gibson defensively.
And Derek Gibson also on the play. Ben Erdljack, the intended receiver. Ball was in the vicinity.
Yeah. And you have to help your quarterback, and that was a good idea. Good throw, but that Derek Gibson, you talk about a maniac. I mean, this guy gets all over the field, has great range, right in line with the great Seminole safeties, and he is just a thorn in your side in the run game.
They're so deep at that position, too. Mickey Andrews chooses the starters on Friday. He says, I got 4 guys who can go at cornerback, and I'm making a decision based on practice. The draw play, straight ahead, and it is going to be taken by Devin Pierce, the junior from Boca Raton, Florida, but we've got a flag on the play. Tackled by Sean Key, but could be all for naught here. Although Florida State might decide they could bring this up to 4th down.
Illegal motion by the offense. Penalty declined. 4th down.
And that's just the call. Florida State declines the penalty. They'll accept the gain, which is a yard, but it brings up 4th down, 9. And now here comes the adventure. Brian Morton from Winter Haven, Florida. His job is to keep it away from Peter Warrick, who's back in punt formation, the leading punt returner in the entire country in NCAA Division I football.
And Kyle Moore, the left release man, has got to get down there and be a factor.
Morton averages 40 a kick. Hang time, and Warrick will get a chance to return it at the 24. Upfield, good coverage by Duke, and they flatten him at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 9 on the play after the 42-yard kick by Brian Morton. So the job accomplished. Luke Roush is in on the tackle. 1st and 10, Florida State. And they'll start from their own 32-yard line. Kendra at quarterback has Travis Minor set up there, 4 wideouts. Warrick to the bottom of your screen on the inside. Weinke steps up, and nice tackle on the play made by Charles Porter, the sophomore from Columbia, Maryland. Let's go back to our Geico starting lineups. We didn't get a chance to set that offensive line. They've got a good one. Jason Whitaker, an all-ACC selection, playing that tight guard. That's where the tight end goes. The other side is the split guard, where the split ends are. Of course, what happens if they're split all over the field?
I'm going to let you deal with that one. That was a great move for Duke, though, just to get some pressure.
2nd down pass is complete. And it is brought down by Marvin Minnis, Jr. out of Miami, Florida. And let's take a look at the Duke defense. Chris Combs, Outland Trophy candidate, and a good group at linebacker.
And we talked about Knight, Lewis, Stallmar, DeLavalier, and of course, nice corners in Holly and Hamilton.
Mark Grant.
Yeah, Grant there too.
Yeah, he's coming off a team suspension for violating team rules. But, he has a lot of experience at that point. 3rd down and 9. Florida State leading here 7-0. Chris Weinke out of the shotgun. Weinke has a release in liner, but he's going deep, and it is almost caught and dropped by Jermaine Stringer. Covering on the play, Darius Clark with Ronnie Hamilton and Lamar Grant.
Well, you know they're going to take a shot at it. I mean, they're Florida State. But that's a great job again by Grant. You watch this. The pressure early on, I think, is always a factor with quarterback. Maybe you speed up a bit. Ball is there, looks nice at this point, great adjustment. At this point, jump ball. Nearly a spectacular catch.
Stringer almost came up with it. Here's Keith Cottrell, junior from Orlando in punt formation. And he gets off a beauty. Hurdle Jack is driven back to his 22. He dodges one tackler, now gets upfield. Nice return, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. A flag, however, on the play. And there is Cottrell going off the field after a beautiful punt. Jamal Reynolds on the tackle in punt formation, but let's see what the flag is, and it's back at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a personal foul, roughing the kicker.
He's getting high fives, acting job. He did get hit, but I mean, you got to lay a little extra on it.
Here's Jim Knight.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense. First down.
And let's see it once again as Cottrell goes back.
Now you get a chance to stop them, and then you have this. Now see, you can't aim at the punter. You have to go where the ball will be, launch point, see, and you just can't, especially when you come right up the gut.
And still with all that pressure, he uncorked a 40-plus kick.
Yeah,
that's a gift. You don't want to, as you said, Doc, don't feed the fire. And Duke has just provided another wood on the fireplace. As Laveranues Coles takes Chris Weinke's pass down to the 45-yard line. Duke, it's going to be a gain of 6 on the play.
Well, their first offensive possession, interception. The second, they had a holding penalty and a procedure. Now you get a flag on special teams, and again, you keep the monster alive.
Second down and 4. Minor in motion. Throwing to that direction to Warrick on a little screen out on the corner, and he gets the first down inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. And let's get down to the sidelines for something about Lamar Grant from Mike Hogwood.
Well, Steve, you talked about him being suspended for 3 games. This is a veteran senior who started 27 games in his Duke career. He's been on the scout team all season until Tuesday of this week. Coach Carl Frank says he's really been impressed with his attitude, the way he handled the suspension. He's back. How much is he playing today? Well, he's played every snap on defense so far, and he's on every special team today as well.
Broken up one ball. First and 10, Florida State at the Duke 39. Weinke to the flats, Warrick at the 30. Jukes past one tackler, has some interference in front of him. Touchdown, Florida State. Laveranues Coles with a great block at the 10, and Peter Warrick has scored for the second time today.
Boy, they make you pay. That's what I like when you watch them. They make you pay for your mistakes. We talked about it. Yards after the catch. See a little bit of pressure. Now watch this. There's a whoops, one of those cartoon moves. And at this point, had it been flagged, he still scores.
Janikowski getting ready for the point after his second attempt of the afternoon. Florida State takes advantage of the roughing the kicker call to score on Peter Warrick's 39-yard touchdown reception, his second of the day from Chris Weinke. Back after this from your local ACC station. Florida State 14-0 over Duke. 7:36 left to go in this first quarter. Peter Warrick catching his second touchdown pass of the day and the 31st of his career. And look at those. These are updated numbers. 169. He came in with 166. He has a chance to be the ACC's all-time leading receiver if he catches a little over 7 a game. Second all-time at FSU in receiving yards as well. Peter Warrick putting his name up there in Heisman consideration. Joe Hamilton did a pretty good job in that direction Thursday night. Oh, yeah. Sebastian Janikowski kicked it through the uprights from 75 yards. And it will not be returned. His third kickoff of the afternoon. Man from Poland came over at age 15. Look at Ertlejack. I think I got it. I think it's out of here.
That is power.
So Duke takes over, 1st and 10. Unfortunate circumstances, really, Doc, when you take a look at what Duke had accomplished defensively in that last series. They had stopped them.
Had to stop. Give it up. Violated everything it takes right now to be good and compete against the Seminoles.
Epperson is the lone setback. 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. Epperson getting some good yardage, and Duke has done pretty well on the ground here so far this afternoon. Out to the 25 or 26 yard line.
It's the only chance you get. If you go right at them, you can't get outside on the edge. That's out. Forget about it. But if you run right at those great tackles, if you catch them on their way to the quarterback, you might get a crease.
That's exactly where they're headed. 2nd down and 5. Moore, Montgomery, and Ertlejack to one side. Flowers to the bottom side. Campbell changing up. 3-step drop, going for Flowers. And he runs into Mario Edwards, who was covering on the play, and there's a flag down. Could be interference on Edwards, who held Flowers from getting behind him. Mario Edwards, a senior from Roche, Mississippi.
The thing with Mario is such a big guy. 6'2", 195.
There's a break for Duke.
It is. Another break. See if they capitalize. Now watch it now. Let's see the check. Reduce and release. There's the first bit of contact. Let's see if they hit again. Yeah. See right there. If the ball's in flight, good call.
So the pass interference moves the chains out to the 37-yard line. The guilty party, Mario Edwards. 6 career interceptions. They want to make sure Flowers didn't get back. 3 wide receivers again. Setback is Emerson. They've run out of this. They won't this time. Campbell in the grass, and he goes down. And it is Jamal Reynolds. We have a flag on the play on the far sideline.
Number 58, Jamal Reynolds.
He's number 2 in the ACC in sacks this year. And Campbell goes down for the first time this afternoon. What's the flag here?
Prior to the snap, dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, 1st down.
So false start for Duke. It'll be 1st and 15. Take a look at our cross-street college football scoreboard today. East Carolina Pirates with a stirring win over Miami.
Oh boy, were they outstanding.
Leading Army today. Michigan, Big Ten game. Michigan State with a 1-touchdown lead. And first, we'll have others as the afternoon rolls on. 1st and 15 for the Blue Devils, trailing 14-0. Big rush is on. Screen pass to Epperson. Epperson trying to get his way away from Bradley Jennings, and is brought down there by
Campbell's pass complete to number 33, Dwayne Epperson.
Reggie Durden.
Bradley Jennings.
That's a pretty good job to get it going. You want to take advantage of their rush. Little X game up front by the Seminoles. That's pretty well done. Maybe just a second off in that. You got everybody where you want. Now watch how quickly they react. They make up for it, get off blocks, and then they get to the point of attack in a hurry.
Gain of 3. Brings up 2nd down and 12. Remember, they had the penalty on the first play after the first down. Flowers and Montgomery split to the wide side of the field. Ertlejack to the short side. Out of the shotgun, Campbell. Big rush is on. He gets rid of it. But you can't blame Campbell for that.
Not
because, no, Jamal Reynolds was in the back of his helmet.
Not at all. And that's the only time you will get. And watch how this converges. This is the manhood coming to the point of attack. All of those people there, man, that's a function at the junction. That kid stood in there like a soldier and got the ball out. You got to have great catches by your receivers in a game against Florida State. It will not be perfect. The ball may not be right on your numbers. You got to climb the ladder.
Not with Warren, Reynolds, and Simon breathing down your throat. 3rd down and 12. Duke down by 2 scores in the first quarter here in Jacksonville. Campbell lets one fly over the middle, almost intercepted by Mario Edwards. Intended on the play for Ben Ertlejack.
If it hangs in the air, it's theirs. That's a pretty safe rule of thumb. If it hangs in the air, it belongs to them. There you get a little burst, a little seam route. Very nice route, but he's going up against zone. So at that point, you got to throw it in there underneath. You got to get quick, or you're going to have that happen.
And when you're throwing to spots, your defenders have a better beat on it than you do.
You got to throw when the kid's in his break.
Morton now trying to slow down Warrick at the third. No,
Got a chance.
That's Durden on the return, and Durden fumbles, reverses direction.
Look out.
And gains speed. Watch out, Morton gets blocked. Durden gets turned and finally tackled at the 32. And a tackle by Dan Umbel. But Morton's kick is returned to the 32, and Florida State with excellent field position following a 34-yard punt. Bank of America, an official corporate partner of the ACC, presents this Salute to Excellence question over the past 4 seasons. Which 2 ACC teams rank 1 and 2 among all Division 1A programs in total defense? If you know the answer, log on to ACC.com with the correct answer before next Saturday's telecast, and you'll be entered to win 2 tickets to the ACC Bowl Champion game. And stay tuned. We'll have that answer for you before the end of the game. So it's an open book test, essentially. 1st and 10 at the Duke 32. Chris Weinke. After the 37-yard punt return, Reggie Durden to Travis Minor. A great open field tackle by Ronnie Hamilton. 3 yards downfield at the 29-yard line. A beautiful punt return set it up. There's Ronnie Hamilton.
We'll say, you say great tackle, and you can't emphasize that even more, because if you don't get him down, they're out of here. And it's not just one guy. It appears to be all of them.
2nd down. And 6. Dugans to the top, Warrick to the bottom, Weinke to the air and through the middle, and he was looking for Warrick, who had double coverage, but there's a flag down. Eric Jones and Lamar Grant double covered on Peter Warrick, but there was contact there, and a flag went down.
Thought he had a chance at the interception. I'll take another look at it. Great blitz pickup. Dan Kendra, former quarterback, doing a nice job at fullback.
Pass interference against Duke. Let's look at it again.
Now you see Jones in your screen, a little play action fake. Good block, and see Chris Combs there. Boy, great blocking up front. I think that's Whitaker. No, see, I thought Jones had a hand on the ball. Now at that point, there is contact there. Yeah, there's
from
contact
Grant.
there. Yeah.
There's contact on Grant before the play.
I'll tell you what, you talk about a young man who is happy to be back in uniform. That's Lamar Grant.
Well, it's a 15-yard penalty and a 1st down. Inside the 15 down to the 13. Comes the pitch to Minor. Minor up over the 10 and is finally brought down at the 7. First shoulder threw in there by Darius Clark, and Todd Delamalore and Ryan Stallmeyer help out.
Now you mentioned Jason Whitaker, 68 white for the Seminoles. Their offensive linemen don't get a heck of a lot of accolades, but this young man is he's special.
There's Chris Combs in the ready position on 2nd down and 3. All of the 7.5-yard line. Changing up. Warrick to one side, Dugans to the other. Handoff on the delay to Minor, and Minor looks like he's got enough for the 1st down. Steinbaugh tripped him up. Delamalore and Clark finish him off. That's another 1st down for the Seminoles.
You talk about Whitaker again. There you see Combs, and there you see Whitaker. Now watch it. This guy gets inside. He's strong. See how his hands placement. The hands are right inside on the numbers. I mean, that right there is an excellent job of dealing with an outstanding football player.
Travis Minor sees that out of the left corner of his eye.
I say thank you.
1st and goal at the 2. Kendra and Minor the setbacks. There's the fake pitch, and Weinke going for the end zone again to Peter Warrick for the 3rd time today. Peter Warrick, 3 scores here in the 1st quarter. 1 from 2, 1 from 39, and another from 2 yards out. His 3rd touchdown reception of the day, and Florida State is up 20-0 over Duke here in the 1st. Sebastian Janikowski out of the hole to Marcus Outson. Kick is good, and Florida State is up by 3 scores, and Peter Warrick has done it again thanks to Chris Weinke on the pass.
Watch the action again. Big number 68 comes out. Like to have that guy as your bodyguard. There's Weinke, see eye on the receiver. And I don't care what kind of job Grant does. He's doing a great job outside, but you can't have a quarterback not get pressure on him and look out to a young man with his skills. Peter Warrick, Heisman candidate, you better believe it.
Peter Warrick, Heisman candidate, and today 12.3 average on the 4 pass receptions.
I love to see young men that they decide to stay in school. If it works for them, I'm all for it. If it doesn't work for them, they got to take care of what they've got to do. But he's back, and he's back with purpose. He's the hardest working kid on the team, and that influences all of the young people. You go home, you call mom, hey mom, boy, Peter Warrick, he runs the sprints, he lifts weight, he does all this, then you're going to do it too. And that's the best thing I think he has been able to lend to this football program. You go into class, you know, just being a model citizen.
Well, Mark Rick told us earlier, he says he's the hardest practice player out there. You know, when a player who you think is going to go pro early, like Peter Warrick probably could have, when he does that, then it makes your coach, put your coach in a tough position telling the receivers who stayed behind. As Jack downs the ball in the end zone for a touchback, but this is nothing new for the Seminoles. Look, last week against North Carolina, Travis Minor scores on the first drive. Then they run a fumble in, and then a pass interception by Sean Key for a 3rd score. And Peter Warrick got involved with a long punt return for 75 yards and a touchdown, and they accomplished all of that in 7.5 minutes in the first quarter at Chapel Hill. Took them a little longer here.
Oh, boy.
But they've been blessed with some breaks. They've had a good punt return to set up that last drive. The second drive was perpetuated by a roughing penalty against Duke on a 4th down punt. 1st and 10, Duke, their own 20. And here's Bobby Campbell out into the flats, and it is complete to Richmond Flowers. And Flowers has a 1st down at the 32.
That is nice. When you look at Duke on film following this ball game, there's a lot of things so far you can be happy about. You got to get after them quick. A little hesitation, nice little in and out. Now I like this. See, you get a pivot and you create. See, you showed them, hey, you can get a little yards after the catch, and that's what you've got to do against the Seminoles.
You talked about 2 people who have got to put numbers on the board here today for Duke.
Where's Scott? Yeah, but where's Scott?
May see him soon. Here's the top one yet. Here's one thrown in his direction, and it is complete just in time. Doc at the 37-yard line. Duke starting to move the football, and Montgomery with his first pass reception of the day.
If I'd have known I was mic'd inside the huddle, I'd have been talking earlier. I like that. You know, Scotty's a heck of a receiver. Makes people miss. This is the thing that they've got to do. Just keep the drives alive. Move the chains.
Exactly.
You know, and keep Weinke and that
that other number 9 off the field.
Other phenomenal athletes off the field.
Montgomery in motion. And off to B.J. Hill, his first carry of the day, and he doesn't get much there. Stopped up on the interior of the Florida State defensive line. Let's go to the sidelines at Mike Hogwood.
Steve, Florida State has been running a lot of players in and out. Last week against North Carolina in the first quarter, they played 52 players. They are approaching that here in this game. Still a couple minutes to play in the first period.
They try to wear you down, and of course technically this is an away game for Florida State, so they couldn't travel all of the people that usually suit up at a home game.
That's scary. Just more of it.
3rd down and 8. Duke down 21-0 out of the shotgun.
No.
Campbell, big rush on.
He didn't see it.
Oh boy.
Earl Jack
almost intercepted, I think, by Gibson. Allen was the one who was in there early. Brian Allen with heavy pressure.
Now I will bet you a double cheeseburger. And Carl Franks went over this. Let's pick up, guys. This will happen. Who's the hot receiver? Earl Jack has his back to the quarterback. I mean, I know these guys went over it. I know Ben Bennett and these guys went over this, and that they don't get credit for it because the kids don't react under pressure properly.
Ryan Morton the kick, and Peter Warrick is back. Warrick comes up to get the short kick.
Got a chance to
And rare mistake by Warrick on the punt. At the 37-yard line, no return. Randy made sure he stayed down. Punt is 31 yards by Morton, but Carl Franks will accept that without a return.
Well, it's twice now in punt returns. The ball's been on the ground, and no Duke player's been in the vicinity. See, if they give you chances, you got to take advantage of it.
1st and 10, Florida State at their own 36. Weinke rolling out left, stops, big rush is on, goes back to the right now, looking for the field of flood of receivers at that side, and it looks like it's going to be ruled complete to Stringer. In Duke territory at the 37. Might be some consultation on that play, but that's where they're going to mark it. Ronnie Hamilton made sure he'd stay down. What a play by Chris Weinke.
Big fella, showing some mobility. I want you to watch this guy there, Carlos Thomas. Watch what happens with this guy. Here's Whitaker, personal protector, doing his job, gets a cut down block. Then you're going to see right there, that's the double block by Thomas. So Thomas gets to start, makes a play. Weinke squares his shoulders, makes a throw. Watch the catch.
Now they're talking things over.
That's kind of close.
And I think the crew realizes that.
Stringer, I mean, might have been a little assistance.
Gonna
on the green stuff.
Might hear from Jim Knight on this one. Flag is thrown.
Illegal touching by the offense. The receiver stepped out of bounds voluntarily, then was the first to touch a forward pass. The penalty is a loss of down at the previous spot, 2nd down.
Wow. I tell you what, and of course, that caused by, everything was kind of breaking down. Weinke was rolling to the left.
Got bumped out about, yeah. That's a good idea by the corners, where it might have been Hamilton to see who had that, but if you get a guy scrambling, you knock him out of bounds. Good to see old Jim Knight. Every time I see him, I just feel great.
Look at that day in Chapel Hill.
Oh, man.
It's great to see him out there on the field. And he's one of the best.
Yes, indeed.
4 wideouts now for Florida State. They're facing 2nd down and 10. And now Florida State wants timeout. Peter Warrick makes the call.
Bob Trott's group putting a little pressure on the Seminoles.
They played pretty well. I mean, you take away the roughing penalty, and they would have had a stop on the 2nd series. Of course,
that's the problem.
Yep.
Everybody says that to play. If we just might have been able to avoid it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Florida State top the AP top 25 in the 1st position. Georgia Tech, of course, at 9th after their win over Maryland. Virginia is 24th.
How about ECU at 19?
Well earned with their win over Miami.
Really is.
Coming from a 20-3 deficit.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Makes our producer happy.
Yeah, our producer's really happy because he's an ECU man. He's a Pirate. We're happy for him as well.
And that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You could have mentioned his name, Steve.
Scott Snyder?
No, don't do that.
There's Bobby Bowden, one of the biggest names in coaching in college football. And from talking to him on our conference call on Thursday, we still get the impression that he's pretty happy about what he does.
Oh, man. Slice of life, as they say. Developing young people, having fun. And again, we mentioned it in the open, when the pressure is that you got to win them all.
Yeah.
You're measured by where you end up first week of January.
Look at the record, 101, 13-1 in the 90s, the best record in college football. 2nd down, 10 to go. Florida State after the timeout. Travis Minor's alone setback. Coles and Warren to the top. Dugan's and Minnis to the bottom. 3-man rush for Duke. Weinke over the middle, complete to Minor. So it was none of the above. It gets it out to the 43-yard line. And Todd DeLamore is in on the tackle.
Gain of 7.
7 on the play. Stallmeyer also in on the stop.
That's okay. Just keep him in front of you. Just keep him in front of you.
And 4 wide receiver package. Back. Same formation this time. And Warrick out of the quarterback spot. And Warrick is driven back.
Stallmeyer.
Peter Warrick carries.
And also in on the tackle is going to be
Brian McCormick. Makes the stop at the 47-yard line.
He's everywhere. Here he is now at the quarterback spot. Then you see 68 again, Whitaker. Another nice block. And that offensive line, and then you see a hammer hit. Boy, that is a nice tag.
Back to throw. Here's Weinke. Weinke has some pressure in the grasp of Stallmeyer, and it's deflected in the air. Free ball. Can anybody get it? It might have fallen to the ground, but there's a flag down on the play. Great pressure by Stallmeyer on Weinke. Kendall Knight comes up with a football, but let's see what the flag is all about. Porter was the man who tipped the football.
Blue Devils getting nasty. The question is, when the ball's in the air, who has the right? I mean, because there was some shoving going on after the quote jump ball.
Another illegal touching again.
All right, we check it out again. There's Weinke, tried to square the shoulders up. This time, Woodard gets beat. Stallmeyer eats him up, and at least see the top off. See, that's what the Blue Devils need a lot more of.
And of course, Chris Weinke suffered a season-ending injury last year against the Virginia Cavaliers. And that opened the way for Marcus Outson at the end of the season. Of course, Weinke was a substitute quarterback himself because Dan Kendra was supposed to be the starter last year.
Legal touching of a forward pass by an ineligible 5 yards in the previous side.
And we've seen some pages of the rule book we haven't seen in a while. 2 illegal touching.
Well, Mark Rick, their offensive coordinator, McAndrews, both stressed to us that too many penalties. For something they wanted to really play. You know, it's looking for the perfect plays like everybody is, but they wanted to really cut those down.
All right, Weinke, a quarterback. He's got Jeff Chaney in the backfield with him for the first time today.
34 front by Dukes. He got a chance if you keep him in front of him.
And the pass is incomplete, but there's a flag down on the play. The pass was intended for Talman Gardner, a redshirt freshman from New Orleans, but Lamar Grant, who's been all over the field today, is about to get picked for his second penalty.
They can't buy a break. And they play well. You got a 3-man rush. They give you a little flood, 2 receiver side. Nice little slanting. Ball's got to be on the way. At that point, it's like both guys going for the ball.
15 yards, first down.
So it's a 15-yard penalty and another first down for Florida State. This time in Duke territory. They'll spot the ball at the Duke 43.
They've been consistent. You know, it's almost like hoops. How you call it? They're calling it tight now with that, but they've been consistent.
Weinke, quarterback again. Holmes got into the neutral zone, but he got back.
A lot of times you slip on that logo.
That's why they put it there. Here's Chaney. Jeff Chaney gets his first carry of the day inside the 40 to the 37. Darius Clark and Ryan Stallmeyer on the tackle of the junior from Lake Wales, Florida. Converted defensive back to a running back.
Gain of 6.
Duke, you really hang in now, Steve. You just keep making them run plays, and you try to hang in and hope something good happens for you defensively.
No huddle, same receiver group again. And the fake draw. Now it is a draw to
Chaney again.
Chaney again, and it's going to be a first down this time inside the 35-yard line down to the 32. Darius Clark and Mike Steinbaugh in on the tackle for the Duke Blue Devils. Florida State.
Thomas, A-man up for Williams. I mean, these guys give you a chance in the run game and the passing game.
Second group of 4 receivers hanging in there. Chaney is in the backfield. Weinke with the throw, and it is incomplete and overthrown. Intended for Artruse Bell, former walk-on from here in Jacksonville. Matter of fact, a lot of Jacksonville players. This is a great opportunity for Florida State to showcase some of its players from this very fertile recruiting ground here in Jacksonville. This game actually is Duke's home game, but it, for financial consideration, was sold to the Seminoles and actually to the city of Jacksonville as part of their River Raid weekend. Second down and 10 for the Seminoles as we wind down the first quarter. The last play of the quarter. Chaney once again, and Chaney straight ahead, thrown back to the 30-yard line.
3 blue shirts.
Yep, Ryan McCormick led the charge, and that ends the first quarter of play. The Florida State Seminoles featuring Peter Warrick. What a shock. Up by 3 scores on the Duke Blue Devils through 1. Welcome back to Jacksonville. Through one, Florida State 21-0 over Duke, and it has been the Peter Warrick show. In fact, he's accounted for all 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. The first one, a 2-yarder. Then the second one, a 39-yard pass and run by Peter Warrick with a great block from Laveranues to set him free, making it 14-0. And then the last, another 2-yarder outside the grasp of Lamar Grant. Peter Warrick with 3 scores, and that's where we stand through one here at Jacksonville. Steve Martin, Doc Walker, Mike Hogwood here at Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville, supposedly a neutral site. Carl Frank says, I don't mind playing this here this year, but we won't do this again, I don't think.
Well,
Duke has Virginia next week. 3rd down coming up now for Florida State, and about 7 for Chris Weinke. His first group of receivers in there. The pass for Laveranues is in his hands. Josh Kreider is covering on the play. Let's take a look at our KFC first quarter stats, and a heavy slant toward the Seminoles in total yards and especially through the air. And they picked up a turnover that set up 1 score. Good punt return set up another.
but they had a lot of help by Duke.
Yeah, they did.
And it very well could have been 10-zip or so in the first quarter.
So Sebastian Janikowski is on to attempt the field goal. This will be a 47-yard attempt for Janikowski. He's 9 for 12 this season. His longest this year, 47. And he kicks it long enough and straight through. Sebastian Janikowski for his 10th field goal of the year. Now 10 for 13, and the Florida State Seminoles, top ranked in the country, advanced their lead to 24. 24-0 over the Duke Blue Devils as Janikowski goes to the sideline. What an amazing story that young man has put together. Florida State 24-0, just 10 seconds into the period. A 46-yard field goal, and it capped an 8-play drive. It's the only score that Peter Warrick can claim ownership to so far today.
I still believe you think of a punt. Yeah, they forced him to kick a field goal. You know, there have been some positive things for Bob Trott's group on defense for Duke. They've been very, very aggressive getting people to the ball.
Your source for sports on the internet, jpsports.com, is now online. Each week we bring you previews of our upcoming telecast and in-depth coverage of the ACC. So you want the inside scoop, the place to log on to is jpsports.com.
Wait a minute. Where's Steve Martin? Oh, you'll come up later on. They're saving that promo. Okay.
When you're done reading Scott Snyder's preview of the next week's game, then if you haven't had enough.
Scott Snyder or Lance Stewart?
He has a ghostwriter?
Oh, that's yes.
7 plays, 36 yards, 2:17 to execute the field goal, and this one is out of bounds. Janikowski's second of the day. There's a lot of extra hitting upfield, but this one will set Duke up again at the 35-yard line. First time this happened.
Interception.
Yeah, Bobby
Gave it
Campbell
away.
on the third play. So let's see if you take advantage of these opportunities here.
It sounds strange, but you have to blank this out of your mind as an offensive player. That the score is 20. You're down by 24. You just try to short memory, start it over again, think 0-0, and get some points on the board.
Bobby Campbell still under center. Scotty Montgomery and Richmond Flowers are split to the top, and Erdl Jack to the bottom. Tavius Wilkes is in the backfield, and he gets his first carry this season. He's been battling injuries. Gets up to the 40-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain for the Duke Blue Devils. And our thoughts go out to David Barringer, and in particular his wife Sherry, who is ill lately. And David is a producer on ACC basketball and part of the Jefferson Pilot sports family. And David and Sherry we're thinking of.
Yes, indeed. Good people.
Second down and 5 for Duke at their own 40-yard line. Tavius Wilkes and Devin Pierce are the split backs for Bobby Campbell. Big rush is on. Campbell releases. Wilkes can't hang on. He had no time to get rid of that one. Great pressure by Jamal Reynolds.
It's almost like what's new.
Yeah.
But you have to have an internal clock that says get back, set up, get rid of it now. And anything else will result in that. You will be hit.
Latavius Wilkes must make that catch to rescue that play.
Oh, just like the tip pass on defense when Grant had a chance at it. You have to convert those.
Erdl Jack wide to the right. To the left for Flowers and Montgomery. The lone setback is Wilkes on 3rd down and 5. Down 24-0. Over the middle, Wilkes gets another chance and converts. 1st down, and for the first time today, Duke is in Florida State territory at the 45. Reggie Durden on the tackle.
Hello.
It's his first pass reception of the year.
See, there's the pressure, a little double team there on Simon. So that works. You know, just throw and catch. Didn't hurt that I had a little slip there. Brian Allen slipped. But they're mortal. Those guys slip too. You know,
No.
occasionally.
I don't believe that.
But when they slip, you better take advantage of it.
Better be ready. 14-yard reception that time. Wilkes again gets the carry. This is the Latavius Wilkes drive. Down to the 43 or 44-yard line. To the sidelines we go with Mike Hogwood.
To add to what Doc said a moment ago, Carl Franks has been telling his team, sure, the score is 24-0, but that doesn't mean they're going to the air attack. As you see, they're still trying to establish a running game and the short passing game. The name for Duke is touchdowns. They haven't scored a lot this season. That's what they want to do here. Just try to get the score and get 6 points.
Only 2, in fact, Mike Hogwood. 2nd down and long 8. Campbell out of the shotgun. Big rush is on. Florida State blitzes 2, and they've got Montgomery with Durden covering. And he's brought down at the 18-yard line. Reggie Durden on the tackle.
They present opportunities because they will get in man, they believe in their corners, and they ought to. Let's watch this. Oh, I like that. Pick action. Good throw and catch.
27 yards downfield to Scotty Montgomery. His 2nd reception of the day, and it sets up Duke 1st and 10 in the red zone of the 18.
Assist by Richmond Fly.
Yes, he did. And a nice little pick there. Oh, did we say that?
No, you said pick.
Okay.
I said assist.
Okay, Latavius Wilkes. Minor things, aren't they? Down to the 16. It's a gain of 2. Derek Gibson, junior from Miami, in on the tackle for Florida State. This is a nice-looking Duke drive.
Yeah, now look at the offensive line. Andrews, Lynch, Smithwick, Fleming, White. These guys now can start to get a second breath because you start to sense you're getting close to the red area and you can put points on the board.
Yeah, I know.
And these guys have been wailing at it. I mean, they haven't been able to substitute people.
Flowers to the left with Kyle Moore in the slot. And Ertlejack to the right. Campbell to throw, looking for his tight end, and he hits him. And, no, that's Kyle Moore.
Moore, yeah.
It's Kyle Moore. Moore complete, good for about 8 yards down to the 11-yard line.
You know what I like now for Duke? Rhythm. They're into a rhythm.
Yep.
And that's the one thing that Mickey Andrews' group, they don't allow you to get into rhythm because they dictate defensively by putting so much pressure on you.
3rd down and 2, down 24-0, but threatening for the first time today.
You mentioned tight end. Dupree wouldn't be a bad call now.
No, it wouldn't. He's lined up over there on the right. Artophilus and Montgomery and Ertlejack the wideouts. This is Wilkes, and he is tripped up at the 4-yard line by Sean Key. Got a shoulder on him. Otherwise, Wilkes was in the end zone.
Yeah, and old Fleming is mad, too, because he can sense it. You know, we can say this over and over, man. Against this group, you can't slip. You got to keep your feet going. I mean, you know, you look at the block by number 71 on that. Troy Andrews got him going, and Duke is knocking on the door.
This is the 9th play coming up of a drive that started at the Duke 35. 1st and goal at the 3. Campbell with Hartopolis, Montgomery, and Ertlejack the wideouts. He falls as he hands off to Latavius Wilkes, and Wilkes gets it down. Yeah, he almost lost the ball there once.
I almost had a trip at the career. You have to settle yourself down. You get so excited. You're just not accustomed to knocking on the door against this defense, and you just have to retain your composure. See, that was good right there. It could have been disastrous.
Yes, it could have been. Yeah. And look at that. Ooh, Wilkes put it on the ground there for a second.
Boy, that Corey Simon is a maniac.
Courageous player.
Yeah,
Played to a lot of hurts and won the Brian Piccolo Award last year.
Deserving. So just a great hustle guy, great character guy.
Timeout on the field called by Florida State to talk things over on 2nd and goal. And we'll take the timeout as well. Florida State is up 24-0, but they're trying to keep that goose egg on the scoreboard. Welcome back to Jacksonville. 24-0. Florida State on top, but Duke knocking on the door. They're second and goal from the 3-yard line. Now, Scotty Montgomery getting the ball, moving the chains. Duke is doing that on this drive, and they'd like to move the scoreboard a little bit. Latavius Wilkes, the lone setback for Bobby Campbell. Campbell, quick roll to the right. Yeah, got to get rid of it into the end zone. Hurdle Jack, but he caught it out of bounds. Forced out of bounds by Reggie Durden. Bobby Rhodes had heavy pressure on Bobby Campbell. That's a good catch, actually, by Herman.
Yeah, it was, but you got to speed that operation up a bit. Here they come. Look at the surge on that defensive line. Boy, they capture. And probably could have had a sack on that play.
Carl Franks doesn't want to take 3 here. They want 6. Latavius Wilkes again. This is 3rd and goal. 3 wide receivers to the right side. The pitch to the left. Latavius Wilkes, nothing there. Coming up to force the play was Bobby Rhodes.
Boy, that was vicious.
Junior from Eustis, Florida. Former walk-on.
I mean, you talk about pursuit, and this is about angles. There you see 49 peeking through. Almost grabbed on it right there. You see him right there? He stays square. Boy, that's very well done.
And Duke is called a timeout. There's Rhodes headed to the sidelines. He's a senior from Eustis, Florida. Well, Florida State atop the ACC standings with already 3 victories on the belt in their 4 overall games, including a big one over Georgia Tech. Of course, Clemson hanging right in there. They've got a key game today against North Carolina. Virginia, what a win they had over Brigham Young. That was something. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest tied at 1-1. Duke in their first venture in conference play this week. Maryland 0-1, but their overall 3-1 record's got a lot of people around the Washington, D.C. area happy. NC State, 2 conference losses, and same with North Carolina. So, very important game for the Tar Heels today at Clemson later this afternoon.
Big contest. Boy, that Lamont Jordan from Maryland.
He's a man. Calvin McCall did a good job at quarterback. There's Carl Franks. He's pretty happy with what Bobby Campbell's done on this drive. It's in its 10th play. They're trying to decide whether on 4th and goal from the 3, do they want to kick a field goal? I think they don't want to right here. I think they want to go for 6. They feel their defense is playing well enough.
I tell you, a group that's even happier than Carl Franks, and it's the defense for Duke. Those guys are going to actually sit on the sidelines a bit and get off that field.
Let's go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
Well, Carl Franks upset at Latavius Wilkes. He'd had a great series till that last play. He didn't turn it up north and south. They thought that read option play would work. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run it again.
Latavius Wilkes is at tailback.
I'd move that pocket. Whatever I did, I'd move it.
Out of the I formation, 4th and goal. Big rush is on from Rhodes. Campbell throws into the end zone. It is incomplete. Richmond Flowers had the best shot at it for Duke, but it was Mario Edwards who made the deflection as Campbell threw under pressure yet again, and Duke gives up on downs at the 3-yard line.
I like the call. Go for it. I mean, go down, fight, but you have to have a chance to set up. Never gets a chance to set the feet. There's our guy again, Rhodes, the nemesis. Bobby's on the pressure, and at this point, it's a 3-on-1 jump ball, but who do you see? Mario Edwards.
Edwards almost picked that off.
Sure did.
Great series for Latavius Wilkes for Duke, and a great series for that man.
Yeah, Bobby Rhodes.
Bobby Rhodes. Chris Weinke with his worst field position of the day from his own 3. The handoff goes to Travis Minor, and he gets a big hole. Turns upfield, squares the shoulders, and Josh Kreider will knock him out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 12-yard line, so it's a gain of 9.
They're too fresh. They're not accustomed to watching that much. I mean, they're on the field.
It's out to the 18. So it's a first down. It's a 14-yard gain. Weinke again under center. Goes to the flats. It is complete to Warrick. And Warrick is out of bounds and complete for another first down. This one's at the 29-yard line. That's the 5th reception of the day for Peter Warrick. He's had 3 others in the touchdown.
Imagine, here you are. You're locked up out there one-on-one. with Mr. Excitement. And you got to break on the ball, but you got to be balanced because you can ill afford to let him get away. It was a good job by Grant. A lot of room, but you got to secure it.
It's an 11-yard gain. Weinke rolls, throws a soft duck to the sidelines, and that looked like it was intended for Ryan Sprague. Warrick was in the area. Stallmeyer with the pressure.
Weinke has impressed me. He really has. I didn't know he had that little something that he could feel the pressure as well. I mean, that time I thought Stallmeyer had a bead on him, and he got away from him.
He's got great size, 6'5", 240. Very mature, obviously, 27 years old. Spent 7 years in minor league baseball before returning to Florida State to play football. 2nd down and 10. Hand off to Minor. Minor breaks a tackle and is on his way. Kreider in pursuit. Clark will finally knock him down. And they'll knock him out at the Duke 43-yard line. It's about a 28-yard gain on the play. It sets Florida State up where they've spent a lot of time this afternoon in Duke territory.
Now we talked about Dan Kendra. He's a fullback right there. We talked about his contributions. Watch what happens at the point of attack. See right there, gets the edge down on Stallmeyer. Excellent block. Poor tackle opportunity on the outside by Hamilton, and you can't miss tackles against this group.
Nice block by the wide receiver Ron Dugans as well.
Oh yeah.
1st and 10. Play action for Weinke. Throws under pressure, and the pass complete to Dugans.
Got to get him down.
And Grant finally gets him down there with help from Darius Clark.
I think Weinke has a little arm strength.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Talking about the fastball low and away. Again, great pocket protection. Ball right on a rope. Boy, that's nice.
He's thrown 30 touchdown passes. And today, it's a 20-yard gain. It's his 11th completion today. He's got 3 on the docket this afternoon. 1st and 10. Ball at the Duke 23. Here's Cheney. And Cheney brought down by Kendall Knight, Todd DeLamelore, and also Charles Porter, who's had an impressive game. We've got a flag, however, in the secondary. So we'll see what that's all about.
Well, Duke gets a good play. Knight swells up. They can't afford to have a penalty now go against them and negate it.
Here's Jim Knight. There's the indication.
Hit ball. Personal foul on the offense. The down.
Let's see here with Coles. Let's find out if we can get a hold of it. Okay, that's effort. He comes back. Ooh.
And that's where the penalty took place.
And you know, that's tough. He's out there, he's blocking, he's throwing his body around, but man, you know, you can do the same. You can be just as effective right in the guy's belt buckle.
That's right.
Just as effective.
Not down where.
Yeah, that's
down at the ankle.
That gets where it gets kind of cheesy.
From behind.
You know, when fellas see that on film, you know, that doesn't go over well.
2nd down and 26 now. Florida State backed up to the Duke 39. Pass is deflected. And I think that was Kevin Lewis. Kevin Lewis with a pass deflection. Lewis is having a great season for Duke. 28 tackles on the season coming in.
And we talked about it today. He had to step up. Kendall Knight had to step up because Chris Combs, you knew what he'd do. He'd occupy people, but he also needed help.
3rd down and a bunch of yardage coming up here for Florida State. 26. They lead it, however, 24-0. Weinke has Coles and Warrick to the top side. Dugans to the bottom. Now whistles will slow down the play and negate it again. And do we have a timeout coming? Yes, timeout for Florida State. They've used their last one. So we'll take the timeout as well. With 8:49 left to go in the first half, Florida State 24-0. Back after these messages from your local ACC station. Florida State's used their last timeout here in the 2nd quarter. They're up 24-0, 8:49 left to go until halftime. It's 3rd down and 26. The ball is on the Duke 39-yard line. Florida State in this position because of a 15-yard personal foul penalty. Peter Warrick wide to the top side. Dugans to the bottom side. There's 2 wide receivers in the split backfield for Weinke. Combs with pressure. The pass is complete to Dugans at the. They're going to mark him out where? At the 20-yard line. He still short of the first down.
Well, Duke showed man. Then they dropped off, softened the look. Again, Weinke has all day. Still, you know, it's just hard to stop it, especially in that type of coverage.
You know, we haven't seen Duke blitz an awful lot today.
Now, they've tried to do some combo blitzes. They've tried to mix things up, but on the edge, I think the corners are going to have to take a few more chances in this game.
Sebastian Janikowski, who could probably spend some time in the defensive line, on to kick the field goal from 38 yards out, and the kick is good. His second of the afternoon. His first with a 46-yarder, and that increases the margin to 27. The Seminoles put another score on the board, 27-0. An 8-play drive started at their own 3-yard line after Duke went for it on 4th and goal from the 3 and didn't get it. Some key plays on the drive, a couple of passes to Dugans. Important on that play on the drive. Travis Minor got him out of the hole with some key carries early. Florida State with all those weapons just keeps marching on. 27-0 here in the second.
And they're marching. They marched to a field goal twice now.
That's right.
Should have had to put to the 2 punts. So if you do, you can have to see encouragement. They're building on some things, but they're going to have to take more chances.
Cross-street scoreboard shows East Carolina with a heavier margin here on Army at Mikey Stadium, and surprise, Michigan having their way with Purdue today.
Michigan's solid. But the Spartans.
Whoa. 5-0 over Iowa. And of course, Nebraska over Oklahoma State today. 21-0 here in the second quarter here. Our score, 27-0 Florida State. Top ranked in the country, and they've shown us a lot of reasons why. Janikowski on for the kickoff. Janikowski's either been out of bounds or out of the end zone. This is the latter. If he returned, Duke will pick it up at the 20-yard line. Stay tuned at halftime for our Bell South You Call the Play feature, a look at a big call from ACC games past. All that and more. Mike Hogwood is our halftime host. As you look into the offensive huddle here, Bobby Campbell talking things over with Carl Franks, and I know it's tough for Carl to come here, and because he came here so many years with Florida.
Fun and gun, baby.
Oh yeah. You know, there still is a holdover on the Duke staff from the Steve Spurrier era at Duke. That's Fred Chapman. He's been at Duke 14 years. First and 10, Duke from their own 20-yard line. Campbell back, a 7-step drop. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Dwayne Epperson.
3 times today where Campbell has had time.
Yeah.
Thrown a ball that has been dropped. Or the play has not been made. Let's say that's even better. Play's not been made. It's suicide. You just poured your own, you poured it in the cup when you could have kicked it over.
Wilkes had the other drop. Second down and 10. Now he dictated the pass. 4-man rush for Florida State. Pass is deflected and now intercepted. It's picked off by Chris Hope, the sophomore from Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's his second interception of the season.
Okay, you the man. You look downfield, you see your guy, you release, no pressure. Poorly thrown. Ball's a little high for Scotty.
Tommy Polley deflected it, and Chris Hope from Rock Hill, South Carolina picked it off. And Florida State's in business again in Duke territory at the 35.
You never seem to get tip balls when they tip them. If they're on offense, the ball ends up on the ground. You tip one, it goes in the air. When they're on defense, they come down with it.
This is the third drive of the afternoon that started on Duke's side of the football field for Florida State. Here is Warrick, and he's back to pass. His second pass of the season, complete for a touchdown to Laveranues Coles. Peter Warrick, his first touchdown pass ever to Laveranues Coles. Bobby Bowden says we'd like to have a new wrinkle for Peter Warrick every week. There's your wrinkle.
And he has enough highlights now to make his way to New York, the Downtown Athletic Club, and just take it. I mean, the guy has game.
Janikowski on for the point after the 35-yard connection from Peter Warrick to Laveranues Cole. His first touchdown reception of the year. Here's Warrick.
You have to think Gadget following a turnover. Teams like to do some unusual maneuvers with Bobby Bowden and his group. Wow.
Peter Warrick has scored 3 and thrown for 1. It's 34-0 Seminoles.
I think it's really safe to say that Georgia Tech quarterback Joe Hamilton and Peter Warrick, who's having an amazing game here today, are the leading candidates now for the Heisman Trophy. Also in our news, we have one ACC game already complete, played on Thursday night. Georgia Tech beat Maryland, but I think it's safe to say that Maryland and Wake Forest, the two surprises here early in this ACC season. We've got that game next week.
High noon from Grove Stadium in Winston-Salem. Yes, we do. Looking forward to that one. Hope you'll join us.
Dogfight.
It would be a good
dogfight.
Two great running backs, Lamont Jordan and Morgan Kane. Duke 1st and 10 at their own 20. Handoff goes to B.J. Hill. Flag is thrown in to boot. And leading the charge is going to be Octavius Jackson.
Not a lot of room on that play.
Let's see what the call is. The guys in the striped shirts have been pretty busy this afternoon. It's a hole.
All right, now these two guys look like they want to go in and deal with that torture.
You think so?
I don't. I think it's one of those weeks you can say, you know what, I think I'll be ready next week, Coach.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be ready next week.
You know, Bobby hasn't done that bad a job.
No, he hasn't.
You know?
He hasn't. He hasn't done a big. And I tell you what, though, if you're a player, you do want to play against them. You always want to play against the best.
Well, you know, Duke came down to Tallahassee last year. They thought they'd had their best team that they could put against the Seminoles in a long time, and they were up, in fact, early on 7-3, wound up losing to the tune of 62 to 10 or something like that, and everybody came down with a stomach virus during the game.
That's right. 1st and 20 from the 10 after the hole. Quick swing pass is over the head of Richmond Flowers. Got to give your receiver a chance.
Yeah.
You know, the play is set up. Florida State makes a living with that play. That's a ball that really needs to be right on the numbers so that as the receiver makes the catch, he can run.
And that's a timing play, too. You saw how Maryland ran that Thursday night against Georgia Tech.
Very good.
I thought Calvin McCall did an excellent job.
Calvin stepped in, man, and just rolled.
Yes, he has. Richmond Flowers is split wide out to the right side. Ben Ertlejack to the left. Scotty Montgomery's in the slot to the right on 2nd down and 20. Here's Campbell. Campbell looking in the direction of Montgomery is complete and driven out of bounds there by Mario Edwards at the 18-yard line. And it's going to be a gain on the play of 8.
I want you to watch Bobby Campbell this time. We've seen him going backwards. Now watch the footwork. Sets up, plants, throws. You know, if he can do that, he can give you those results.
You can move the chains that way, but you got to stay out of those 2nd and longs. Right now they're 3rd and 13, down 34-0. Backed up to their own 17-yard line. Out of the shotgun, and it's an open backfield. 5 wide receivers. Now Montgomery acts like a tight end and steps in next to the left tackle. We got a flag down. It's a delay of game. Shot the game clock has run out. Run the play, or something to that effect, out of the mouth of Carl Frank.
And Scotty saying, hey, Coach, I saw Octavius Jackson, the 255-pound freshman, who had a ear hole shot on my buddy Bobby. So I tried to save him.
All right, 5 wideouts again. Campbell back to throw, rushes on, passes behind Scotty Montgomery. Durden covering on the play.
Now we showed you before when Bobby got a chance to set up and plant, throw. Well, that last play was just the opposite of that. He had no time to do it. And I know this is a bit of a stretch, but you know, when you watch Carl Franks here, he's a part of that fun and gun with Spurrier, and they've tried to set some components up here. Boy, it takes a lot more work on a game. It takes, you know, a couple more recruiting classes.
Yes, it does. Morton 2 yards deep in his end zone, and Reggie Durden is back to catch it. Durden falls for it at the 50. Steps ahead to the 45 of Duke and is brought down there. And the tackle is made by Dan Umble. Umble has made a couple of special teams tackles.
Fred Harris, 16, did a real fine job as the release man of pressing to the ball.
39-yard punt by Brian Morton. Durden's 6-yard return brings it back to the 45-yard line of Duke.
When you play Florida State and you're a release man on punt coverage, you might as well be a running back or a receiver. Your role is that prominent.
Yes, it is. Because you have got to stop.
You got to get down there.
Because it's either Warrick who can return it for a score, or Durden did a great job of the 37-yard return early on. This is Travis Minor. A flag goes into the fray there at the 35-yard line.
Penalty flag.
Gardner was out trying to help.
Stallmeyer in on the tackle.
That bounce. That was a Warrick done bounce.
Yes, it was. You know, we've spent a lot of time, and everybody spends a lot of time talking about Peter Warrick. You forget about Travis Minor.
Holding by the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Talon Gardner.
That's good call. Good call. Anytime the hands are outside the numbers, then you are subject for that call. As an offensive guy, you want to keep it in the framework. It's an imaginary square right across the line of the numbers under the armpits.
So it's first down and 9. It's marked off on the spot of the penalty. It's actually ahead of the Chiefs. Ball backed up to the Duke 44-yard line. Florida State up 34-0. Weinke.
Going drop. Yeah, going for it.
Going for it all here over the middle, and it's for Stringer. A flag is in on the play. Jermaine Stringer was the intended receiver. Lamar Grant in the area, along with Darius Clark. Grant knocked the ball down, but let's see if the call is against him.
Now he's going for the trifecta.
And it's against Duke. We'll see it again.
And all fairness to any defensive back, if you got that kind of time, let's watch it. I thought everything was right until the offhand. You can't see the hand. See, look on the outside here. Let's watch this. Let's see if he grabs him right on the inside. You can't see it, but he can.
Yep.
See, he got a pretty good view of it. He can look right in there and see that.
And he did. Got that backhand that you couldn't see.
Couldn't see it, but you have to. The good ones tug a little bit. He didn't need to tug. All he had to do was go for the ball.
But that call has been consistent all afternoon.
Oh, no, the group has been consistent.
They have. First and 10 at the 29. Play fake, end around. This is Gardner. Gardner turns the corner. Gardner has a first down, maybe more. Brought down by Eric Jones and Lamar Grant inside the Duke 10-yard line down to the 8. Talman Gardner, his first run of the year. Exciting redshirt freshman from New Orleans.
To watch Ryan Sprague. I'm going to see the tight end get a good block on this. This is Florida State. This is Bobby Bowden and Mark Richt at their absolute best, because now they've got you. They keep you off balance, and then you put those outstanding athletes in open space, and they make people miss.
Jermaine Stringer threw a guy's ball.
Yeah.
First and goal from the 8. Weinke throws. It's a dart to Kendra. Touchdown! Dan Kendra. A favorite in Tallahassee and playing well here in Jacksonville. That's his second pass reception for a touchdown this season. The former quarterback converted to a fullback has made it successfully.
This is a good story, because you like a kid who works hard, is able to overcome adversity, great concentration on the football. You know he's familiar with the end zone, and there he gives you.
Janikowski out of the hold of Marcus Otson, and the point after is good, making it 41-0. There's Dan Kendra. He was injured in preseason prior to last year. He was supposed to be the quarterback of this team. That opened the door for Chris Weinke. And when Kendra came back fully recovered from the knee injury, they decided to move him over to fullback.
Well, Bobby with a low 5.
Yeah.
You know he's having fun with it.
Yes, he is. He still has a lot of fun at this game. He's still And who couldn't have fun with the unit he's got out there? I mean, he feels his deepest team, with the exception of a quarterback. Doesn't feel he's that deep at quarterback yet as far as experience is concerned, but everybody else.
Well, Otson, we know, has some time, and this Jared Jones, a young man they feel has a lot of potential.
May see him
Yes,
later on
indeed.
this afternoon.
But this Dan Kendra, I mean, if you've ever been hurt as an athlete and you feel a bit ostracized from the team as just magnified as a quarterback, a guy who's a team leader, and now you're gone.
And plus the added bonus of a guy who knows every blocking assignment, knows where everybody's supposed to be. And that's the thing that Mark Richt talks about, is that what he gives you is that he has a great understanding and has a better grasp, a quicker grasp of the things that he has to do in terms of picking up blitzes and stuff like that.
Strong as ox.
Yep. Janikowski to kick it off again. Look at how that just picks up air, and this will be returned. Richmond Flowers. Flowers heads to the outside and is brought down at the 15-yard line. Stanford Samuels made the tackle on Richmond Flowers, and that sets Duke up at their own 15-yard line. Bobby Campbell, that's Devin Pierce, and Dwayne Epperson in his backfield. There's 3 wide outs. This is Epperson. Nice block thrown by his center, Troy Andrew, gets him up to about the 20-yard line, and then it folds down in a hurry. Tackle made by Tommy Polley. He's already had a pass deflection on the afternoon that resulted in an interception by Chris Hope. 5:15 and counting here in the first half. 41-0 Florida State Seminoles on Peter Warrick Day, it seems. 3 touchdown receptions, and he's thrown a touchdown pass. Campbell hands off to Epperson. He's hit from behind, but still struggles ahead to the 22. Pauley is in there. Bradley Jennings is also on the tackle. Abdul Howard.
What's impressive is that Duke is continuing to play, as Mike Hogwood pointed out, their game plan. Now, this won't pay off today, but it'll pay off against Virginia and Georgia Tech and as the schedule progresses, because these guys now, this is a difficult situation, and they are competing.
Yep, and they're moving the ball on the ground, which is what they need to try to do to better set up what they want to accomplish with their airborne attack. It's 3rd down and 4. Pass to the flats for Montgomery is thrown too tall. Chris Hope is covering on the play.
That's the kind of play you have to go after. They're going to give it to you, but you have to win. And sometimes you got to take that outside position and cut it in, you know, and just improvise. It's just that way somebody's got to make a play.
Speaking of making a play, Peter Warrick is in punt formation. Ryan Morton is there to kick. We'll look at it from behind Morton's back.
Reggie Durden.
Wow, he got away with it. And he tries to kick it away from Warrick. He'll pick it up on the bounce, and he ran out of bounds. So the impetus of the catch takes him out at the 41-yard line. It's a 41-yard kick for Brian Morton, and not much a return for Peter Warrick.
41, 1st and 10 at Michigan.
No, he didn't plan that one.
No. Florida State next week settles a little intrastate rivalry with Miami, and then they have Wake Forest. That could be a tough game. And then, of course, the game that everybody's been kind of looking at on October 23rd, when Bobby Bowden faces son Tommy Bowden at Death Valley. And Tommy Bowden might have a surprise or two for him. That's a Clemson football program that is headed in the right direction. And then Virginia, Maryland, and then the season ender with Florida. 1st and 10 at the 41. Whoa, a knock him back tackle by Darius Clark on the ball carrier that time. And that is going to be Nick Maddox carrying the football. He's changed his uniform number back to 20.
They like Nick. But Nick doesn't like that one. That was a lick by Darius.
True freshman out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, and rated as the top running back in the country last year in high school football. The pass to Ron Dugans. Another flag thrown in. Lamar Grant is in the area, and he may be called once again.
Lamar is in great position. He's going to have to just avoid all contact and go for the ball.
That call's been there all day. Let's see it.
Pass interference by the defense.
Top of the action. At this point, he's got to see it. He's got to break on the ball. See, he glides in at the ball. See the arm right there? That's what got him. That's what got him. And at this point now, you know, Bob Trott, you got to pull this kid over. He hadn't played a lot for you this year. Has been practicing and talk to him. He's too good an athlete to let this happen repeatedly.
15 more yards on the penalty to the Duke 45. Weinke back to throw. Steps up, fires, pass is complete. And it's Minnis, Marvin Minnis, down to the 28-yard line. It's a completion of about 17 yards. LeVar Johnson back up inside linebacker, making the tackle.
Boy, that's a nice route. You talk about stop on a dime. Minnis already has the crowd with a chanting a little bit about it.
Broke a bone in his foot in preseason. 17-yard reception. Missed the first 3 games of the season. Played against NC State. Here's Weinke to throw. It is complete. And this looks like it's Dugan's. And good for a first down. They'll mark him down at the 16-yard line of Duke. On the tackle is going to be Charles Porter.
This is what you don't have an answer for. Florida State now can rotate people who are fresh, who are chomping at the bit to play and to show their skills. And you as a defender, you've been on the field now the whole half. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Here's Weinke to throw. Weinke to the corner. Dugan's caught it out of the end zone. There's a flag on the play. This may be interference against Florida State. There's a second flag going down as he went over the pylon.
That might have been verbal.
As I followed Dugan's into the corner of the end zone, or into the corner inside the 1, it looked like he pushed first.
The question is, what was seen?
What was the second flag about?
During the play, we have 2 fouls, 1 by either team. We have an offensive interference. We have then a defensive interference. Those penalties offset and repeat the back.
What Jim's had to explain a lot to us here in the first half. He's got offsetting penalties there. Let's see this one.
Again, we get the isolation. There they run a bit of a bracket on that. Now, yeah, that's offense.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But then they got him. They got Lamar for a push after. There was still time with the ball in the air. All right, first down over again. Weinke hands off. This is Davey Ford. So we've seen 4 running backs for Florida State. And Davey Ford carries it down to the 12-yard line.
With 2:30 remaining in the first.
And Mike Steinbach been on the tackle for Duke. It's a gain of about 4. Approaching the 2-minute mark, and Florida State up here 41-0. Peter Warrick caught 3 touchdown passes, thrown for another 2 Sebastian Janikowski field goals. Here's Davey Ford, and Darius Clark pulls him down. And they'll mark the ball ahead to the 9-yard line.
Darius Clark makes the stop
About
on the
3 on the
9.
play.
It is 3rd and 4.
Carl Franks is kind of thinking what he wants to tell his team at halftime. He's got a lot to tell his team as far as the positive aspects of what they've done. They've moved the ball. They've not taken care of opportunities. They've given Florida State too many opportunities.
Yeah, they're tested, but I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, there are times you end up in this situation. The key is, what do you do about it?
Dugan's is split out. Weinke's looking at him. Pumps once, pumps again, and the pass is knocked down by Brian McCormick. Great play by McCormick at the mouth of the end zone.
And that's what you do about it. You go out and you compete. Now, unfortunately for Duke, when you get that close, you have to convert because you may not get another chance. The slants on, defense is just the right call for it. He tried to pump, wasn't there, and that's a great play. That's a perfect tip. He couldn't have got that. Was a very difficult catch for a linebacker, but that's a super effort.
He's a senior from Shalimar, Florida. There are 13 players on the Duke roster from the state of Florida. So they had some ticket requesting. Sebastian Janikowski on to attempt his 3rd field goal of the afternoon. This is a 27-yard out of the hole of outside from the left hash, and it is good. So Janikowski with a hat trick, and Florida State pushes their lead to 44. 44-0 with 1:22 left to go here in this first half. Jacksonville, a sunny day in our first weekend in October, and a warm one too. The Seminole fans, this is technically a road game for them. Yeah, they're into it.
It's a treat for them.
We saw a lot of them at our hotel last night in Jacksonville, and this is all part of a festival the city of Jacksonville is putting on called the River Raid. And the river, of course, they refer to St. John's River that meanders through the city of Jacksonville and defines its character.
No, it's a great little weekend.
Yeah, it is.
We tried to do our part last night.
Yes, we did.
Get a flavor.
I think we were successful.
Well, you got to give back.
Yes, we did. We helped the local economy.
Yeah.
And a Duke fan plotting his escape in the stadium at halftime. Janikowski getting set to kick it away. We've seen a lot of this in the first half. Florida State 44, Duke nothing. Florida State, of course, #1 in the country. Looking for a second national championship in the 90s. Mike Hogwood will chronicle their most recent national championship at halftime. Little Jack says, what the heck? Down it, and we'll go to the 20. Minute 22 left to go. What a weapon Janikowski can be.
Well, he negates a weapon. You know, he negates if you have a return guy and he takes it away for you. Oh, Bobby's getting into that low 5.
Yeah. Janikowski, all ACC, and the Luke Rosa Award winner last year. Man, he beat out across the field from him. Sims Lenhart hasn't been able to get into action today.
He's a heck of a weapon.
Yes, he is. First and 10, Duke from their own 20. Campbell still under center, and the handoff now goes to B.J. Hill. Twists, he turns, does little else. Brought down on the play by Octavius Jackson. Jerry Johnson in on the tackle. And Tony Benford, freshman from Denver, Colorado, making his presence felt in that one. Bobby Bowden certainly keeping to that promise to run a lot of players in and use just about everybody who's suited up and traveled today. He's got Benford in there at left defensive tackle.
Duke now has 77. John Miller in. Miller's got a mean streak. He's sitting there rumbling.
Second down and 10. Play fake. Campbell over the middle, sells it well, and hits Richmond Flowers. And Flowers is out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 20 on the play. Sean Key picked him up and put him down.
Sean Key and Brian Allen make the stop.
So nice gain on the play of 20. 34 seconds left to go in the first half. Duke trying to break that goose egg on the scoreboard and take something positive into the locker room. 3 wide receivers, but here comes B.J. Hill, and Hill, quick opener off left tackle, brought down there by Gibson and Rhodes, and also Woods. It's a gain of 2, brings up second down and 8, and looks like Duke is going to call timeout. Very close to it here. 14 seconds left. They have called a timeout. Stop the clock and see if Campbell can get them into some sort of field position here.
Well, you don't want to give the ball up, but you do want to try to push it downfield.
And Florida State's Benford is in the neutral zone, steps across. Let's see if he was drawn. John Miller was the Duke offensive lineman involved. It's going to be offsides against.
Zone infraction by the defense, 5 yards.
Marching 5 yards upfield. Up to the 45, and 3 seconds left to go, and Campbell can air it out. See if he can find somebody down there. He's got Montgomery, Flowers wide out. Do it out of the shotgun. Dupree is the tight end from the up position. Campbell with time down the middle of the field for Flowers, nearly picked off by Gibson. A bang-bang play right there by Derek Gibson to end the half and break up the pass intended for Richmond Flowers. The first half goes pretty much as people expected it to. The Peter Warrick Show. 3 touchdown receptions, 1 touchdown pass, 3 Sebastian Janikowski field goals, and it's Florida State 44-0 over Duke. Let's go to the sidelines. Mike Hogwood has Bobby Bowden.
Coach, that's a pretty impressive first half.
Well, it is. It's kind of like a home game to us. It's kind of disadvantageous to Duke. Got a good hot day. Everything's in our favor.
What do you tell your guys now at halftime when you're up 44-0?
Well, we'll play our second team offense the second half and intermingle our defense and try to play football. You hate to say don't go out and play hard, but we'll liberally substitute.
All right, that's Bobby Bowden headed to the locker room, and as you heard him say, his second team ready to go in the second half. Our halftime activities are on the way here from Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville in just a moment.
Florida State made hay early. We talked about opportunities, and as we look at our highlights, that's where they started with the pass interception.
We knew what would happen. Again, the fan in you wants to see great football, and that's just great linebacker play. You go into passing lanes and you create.
And that set up Chris Weinke's first of 4 touchdown passes, the first of 3 to Peter Warrick. But here comes another one, and a nice hook up for 35 yards.
The Peter Warrick show. He makes you miss, gives you the quick feet, stutter step, acceleration.
It's 14-0 at that time, but he's not done yet. Guess who he finds again for touchdown number 3. That makes it 21-0. In the second quarter, Sebastian Janikowski, his longest field goal of the day from 46 yards out, makes it 24-0. And then another field goal to make it 27-0. But here's where Peter Warrick does his work again, this time from the quarterback spot.
Well, he can beat you on a number of different ways. Gets outside the coals, he goes, finds the football, and works his way to the end zone.
And Weinke with his 4th touchdown pass of the day. This one to Dan Kendra. That made it 41-0. Sebastian Janikowski adds a field goal, and that's where we are at our final margin here at 44-0. Chris Weinke has thrown 4 touchdown passes. 3 of them have been to Peter Warrick, and Warrick has gotten in on the action himself with his first career touchdown pass. He threw it to Laveranues Coles. We've had 3 Sebastian Janikowski field goals and opportunities. Top-ranked Seminoles have taken advantage of everything that Duke has presented to.
And Duke has just been too kind. And that's the point of emphasis. You can't go into a ball game like this where you're overmatched in a lot of areas and then be generous and giving the ball up, fumbles and holding penalties, things of that nature that just don't help. But I'll say this, the effort by Duke has been courageous, and defensively they've earned 4 stops.
Yes, they have. Unfortunately, the only time they forced Florida State to punt, they roughed the kicker, and that negated the punt, kept Florida State on the move, and they eventually scored a touchdown. Sims Lenhart on the field for the first time this afternoon with the kickoff to start the second half. Picking up there is going to be Gardner, and he is hit once and still keeps his feet and driven out of bounds by Josh Kreider at the 25-yard line. At halftime, Mike Hogwood had an opportunity to talk with Coach Carl Franks of the Duke Blue Devils.
First and 10.
All right, Coach, what'd you tell them at halftime?
Well, we're going to just try to go play one series at a time. One series on offense, one series on defense. Try to take care of the football. When you turn it over, they're explosive on you. And even when you don't turn it over, they can put a bunch of plays out there.
Spirit of your team right now.
Oh, they're fine. They're ready to come back and play. They're in good shape.
All right, good luck second half. That's Carl Franks, Steve.
Thank you very much, Mike Hogwood. That was recorded at halftime. First and 10 at the 25-yard line. Marcus Outson is in there at quarterback. Quarterback the final 3 games of the season for the Seminoles. He calls his own number and gets it out to the 33-yard line, which is brought down by Todd DeLarmo.
And we were just informed that Chris Weinke and Peter Warrick were done today.
Done enough damage, haven't
Yeah, but if I'm Duke, I want to see him in street clothes before I believe it.
Yeah. Warrick caught 4 balls for 3 touchdowns and 49 yards. Not an extraordinary day as far as yardage is concerned. The results were tremendous. Outson again calls his own number and gets it out to the 39-yard line. Darius Clark in on the tack, and Outson is a junior at 6'2", 220 from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. 6 out of 9 this year. Hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. Last year did pretty well. The last couple of games of the season, and quarterback in the national championship game in Fiesta. First and 10, he's working out of the shotgun. Maddox back for protection. Pass is incomplete, and it's intended for Anquan Boldin, a freshman out of Houlton, Florida.
Incomplete.
Watt's been in 3 plays. In 3 plays, he's been involved in contact. You know, a couple of runs. And there's a lot of times when you haven't played, the best thing you can do as a quarterback is to run and just try to get yourself into the flavor of the ball game.
He's trying to give him that flavor. You know, ones are in. Here's Otson back to throw again. Pressure is on. Steps up nicely and airs it out big time. Looking there for number 13, Marvin Minnis. It is incomplete. Ronnie Hamilton covering on the play.
Number 13, Marvin Minnis.
Are you waiting on the flag?
Defended by Ronnie Hamilton.
Breathless, a little bit of contact.
Third and 10.
When we watch it again, Otson gets a chance to show you he can throw it downfield. See, steps up in the pocket. That was key. And then we'll see the play on the ball. That's good defense. Because the inside hand was in, and it was visible, and he's going for the football. That's a great no call.
Marvin Minnis coming back from that foot injury, suffered in preseason. It's 3rd down now, 10, 44-0.
Marvin, run.
Flat out. Good protection for Otson, and he'll scramble out of the pocket. Holmes in pursuit, and Kevin Lewis will catch him at the 41. And for the first time today, Florida State may have to punt the football.
Tackled by number 27, Kevin Lewis.
Lewis did a real nice job of not getting sucked in the pass coverage. He recognized run and then came up for a pretty nice stop.
Who's on the headset? Chris Weinke.
Nice coaching. They tell you, son, you don't have to play, but you still have to think. We want you to think the game.
Back for the Blue Devils.
Jack waiting for Keith Cockrell's punt. This could be his first official one of the day. Punted one in the first half, but it was negated by a roughing penalty. A good one. Fair catch called for by Jack as well. Let's go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
Hey, Steve, I'd like to invite all our fans to dial into our internet site for the latest at ACC news, game statistics, coaches, post-game interviews, and live audio of the ACC Coaches Weekly Press Conference. You can log on to the ACC.com. It's the official site of the Atlantic Coast Conference, and get some wise words from our colleague Steve Martin as well from time to time.
I don't know if they're wise, but there are a lot of words on it. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Thank you, Mike. Robbie Campbell still under center. Epperson and Pierce are his setbacks. And there's a little lateral in there to Epperson. He lost the football. I don't think Corey Simon realizes that he'd given it up. And that gave Duke an opportunity to get the ball back. Whoa, that was dangerous.
Man, that would have been the crown jewel in Corey's highlight film. He gets in. Again, he just wants stability on offense. Lund shovel. Simon is all over. He has part of the running back and the line guy all over him. He's awesome.
That was Robert Fleming who was on top of Simon. That was the pin of the day, because that kept Simon away from the football. 2nd down and 10. And here's the draw to Epperson. And Simon is there again. He's got help. Brian Allen, who had the first of 2 pass interceptions of the day. As Campbell looks to the sideline, Carl Frank say we're going to play it series to series here, because as you said in the first half, Doc, you're playing to establish something for the remainder of the season.
That's important.
What is the offensive character of your football team? I think Carl Franks is looking for that right now.
I bet you Mickey Andrews got in it at halftime and had a few choice words for his defense. Gave up some pretty decent runs.
Well, it was a continuation of the haranguing he gave them down there on 4th and 3. 4th and goal, and they responded.
Yep. And you got Austin Smith would look like he was rocking in his stance.
And that'll be against Duke if he marched off half the distance. $44-0. Carl Franks has been in Jacksonville a lot at the side of Steve Spurrier. Their annual game with Georgia. He's trying to install the Florida offensive way of thinking in his quarterbacks, and that's where the key is. It's not so much throwing to specific receivers and throwing to specific areas and having receivers catch up to the ball.
Yeah, and the premise is to throw to the single covered side and to throw away from trouble.
Little Jack in motion. There's the little flare, and it's deflected. deflected in there, and I think it was Jamal Reynolds who's had a great game. He's had some quarterback pressures. Reynolds trots off to the sideline. The punting unit is on. And back to receive the punt is going to be Warrick. Well, he's not in street clothes yet. Thought we'd seen the last of him. Get another look. He's not scored on a punt today. He has this season. Last week against North Carolina. Here's Brian Morton. He's averaged 36 yards a kick. Warrick steps up. Has some time. Dodges one tackle. Another. Reverses direction and picks up some blocking, but he's headed in reverse again.
This is unbelievable.
Look at this. Finally, Duke gets a break and they corral him at both ends of his body. Amen and also Akil Ross finally make the tackle, and the crowd cheers. They love it. They thought that was wonderful, but it was a big break for Duke, and they got the job done. These guys have played a quarter on one play.
You kidding me? This isn't fair. Now he's not on offense, so you know he's fresh. Comes up, makes you miss.
Nothing there.
Boop, boop.
Nothing there. There were 4 changes of direction.
Like he's got slick all over his body.
Well, he got some negative yardage that time. All right, let's take a break right here with Florida State up 44-0. Welcome back to Jacksonville. Jefferson Pilot Sports bringing you Atlantic Coast Conference football. The top-ranked Florida Seminoles certainly looking the part this afternoon. And we have a new quarterback for Florida State up 44-0. Jared Jones is in the game, and his first official duty is to hand off to Davey Ford. He gets up to the 49-yard line. Charles Porter is in on the tackle. Let's give you the book on Jared Jones. He's from Walla Walla, Washington, same high school as Drew Bledsoe. He's a true freshman, or played as a true freshman. He's a sophomore, 6'5", 235. Every quarterback 6'5" or better for Florida State.
They rave over the potential of this young man.
Well, Mark Rick says, Bobby Bowden says he's got all the pitches. In other words, everything in his repertoire is very, very good.
Handoff to number 22,
Davey Ford getting the ball up over the 50-yard line, brought down at the 48 by Charles Porter. Bobby Bowden looks on. Headsets are on Chris Weinke's head there a minute ago. As you look at Jared Jones, 3rd down and about 5. Some fresh defensive backs. Big pressure on, and an incompleted pass by Jones, but safety blitz that time. Actually, it was an outside linebacker pressure from Kevin Lewis.
Well, one of the things we talked about again was Kevin Lewis, the guys on the outside, Kendall Knight. They needed to have a big day. Strong rush inside. You know, you don't see a lot of that, but that time Noah Wilson has great pressure right up the gut.
Keith Cottrell is on the punt for the 3rd time today, the 2nd official. Ronnie Hamilton's back in punt formation, standing at the 10. Down by Florida State at the 20-yard line. Great kick on the play of about 27 yards. Malcolm Tatum downed it. Well, we invite you to try out your source for sports on the internet, jpsports.com. It's now online. Each week we bring you previews of our upcoming telecast, in-depth coverage of the ACC for the inside scoop. You've got it all there. Log on to jpsports.com. Of course, you got the message boards, which tend to get quite lively from time to time. From expansion or the ups and downs of all of the football programs in the ACC. A lot of discussion this week about NC State's offensive woes. So get in, pick your topic, and have yourself a time. jpsports.com. Bobby Campbell's still in there. And Duke using Dwayne Epperson up off the left side of the offensive line, and he gets out to the 23-yard line.
Stops at the 22-yard line. By number 48.
I'm trying to figure out one thing, Steve, at this point.
Correction.
What can Duke do that they didn't try in the first half, you know, against the first team?
Yeah.
You know, assailants. Is there anything else that you know, that maybe, I don't think they say held it back, but that would take them downfield a little bit better with the ball?
Montgomery's still in there. Get the backup tight end Ben Watson out of the slot position. The third up receiver is Richmond Flowers. Campbell trips from center. Goes down.
That wasn't playing.
No.
Although he did have a problem on an exchange in the first half.
Exactly.
On a handoff. He got tripped up. What he can't do is let the frustration overtake him. Gotta stay poised.
Yep. Looking at a 3rd down and 12 now. Intently watches the signal from the sideline. Carl Franks is his own offensive coordinator. He's handling things there. Bobby Trott is the defensive coordinator. There's Alonzo Jackson. Steps up on 3rd down. 44-0, Florida State. Campbell, deep drop. Pass clears out to his fullback Devin Pierce, and Pierce will be shy of the 1st down, but gets it out to the 28-yard line.
Pass complete to
A gain of
number 30,
about
Devin
12
Pierce.
yards, and Abdul Howard, actually 10 yards. Abdul Howard and Theon Rackett get on the tackle for Florida State.
It was a nice play, but you know, you take away the stumble, you're giving away yardage. But it was a nice call. They were able to kind of set up a little diversion on the left side of the field and get it back open.
Got a little bit of punting room for Brian Morton, and Reggie Durden is back in punt formation. He brought one back 37 yards in the first game.
Average of 12 again.
Boy, nearly blocked. This is a good one by Morton. Durden is back. Gets by Fred Harris. Flag on the play. And now Fred Harris will get a 2nd shot at him and bring him down at the 39. And the flag is just 3 yards behind where the final play was made. And it's a nice punt at 39 yards. Not much of a return there by Reggie Durden, but a flag to boot and see what happens. Jim Knight's crew has been pretty busy this afternoon. There's Durden. Block in the back. So the block in the back is going to be marched off against Florida State. That'll put them back inside their own 30-yard line. 44-0, Florida State in the lead. Neutral site, supposedly. It's Duke's home game, but it was dispatched to Florida State on a financial transaction. Marcus Outson is back in the game, and his pass is picked off.
Got it.
It's Hamilton with the pick. There's the block, and Hamilton is making his way at the 30, up to the 40, and threads the sideline where Outton finally
took his own guy out.
Yeah.
Marcus
Outson's pass picked off there by Hamilton, and he makes the tackle at the 47-yard line. So a positive development for the Blue Devils and their first interception of the day.
You got to take advantage of it. We've been preaching this, and now it's starting to come to reality. Now, what causes it? Pressure. Get a little bit of pressure. Martin trying to throw across his body into double coverage. Just ill-advised all the way. When he first got in the game, he started off running. That would have been a good opportunity to tuck and run.
1st and 10, Duke at their own 47. Pierce and Epperson the setbacks. Play action. Campbell with time and a receiver. Richmond Flowers. And Flowers is brought down by Sean Key. And it's a nice connection to the 33-yard line of Florida State. It's going to be nearly a 20-yard reception. So Duke coming right back after the pick, and they'd like to get that bubble off the score.
Yeah, well, what you want to see is what he just did, the clenched fist. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see Key going out of the game with an injury.
Well, holding that right elbow.
Yeah, don't like that.
Chris Hope will take the spot in the defensive secondary. Handoff now goes to Epperson. Holes of opportunity start to open up. Austin Smithwick with a nice block. And Epperson gets up over the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's competing. I mean, if you just look at that play and you don't pay attention to the score, you can't tell. That's great surge up front by Duke.
Derek Gibson finally stopped it. Junior from Miami. The Duke Blue Devils trying to push their way into the end zone after the interception by Ronnie Hamilton.
Well, they could have had points on the board. They opted to go for 7.
Yep.
Now, 7 would have nailed that.
He would have had a field goal. 2nd down and 5. Campbell hands off to Epperson, and he is met. I mean met. Oh boy, Tommy Pauly. You know, they keep track of a lot of different statistics at Florida State. That was a knock 'em back, and that's an official stat. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was more than a knock-em back. That was a slobber knocker.
He's got 6 knock-em backs so far this season, and that's when you negate the play, and he did so. Loss of a yard brings it 3rd and 6.
Leading the team in tackle. Okay, fellas, that's when you say, let's go and adapt and come back slugging.
Troy Andrew and Chris Woods.
I like that. I just like that for Duke. You're down by a bunch, but you're keeping on.
Montgomery is split wide out to the top side. Inside of him is Dupree, the tight end. Flowers split to the right. Play action for Campbell on 3rd down. Over the middle, almost picked off by Derek Gibson. Pass intended there for Richmond Flowers.
Bobby's had 3 of these today, maybe 4, where he's had a guy open, you know, and he has not helped his cause. Here you watch Richmond. Gets inside little slot, nice route. Let's see him snap it off. That's perfect. See, ball's late. The ball is late and it's high.
And that's one of the things that Carl Franks wants to have happen, is that his quarterback make the throw and let the receiver worry about getting it. There you go. Kevin Thompson to hold for Sims Lenhart, who will attempt a 46-yard field goal.
46-yard attempt.
Snap is there. The kick is low, but it is through the uprights, and Duke is on the scoreboard. 49 field goals, a new Duke record each time he hits one for Sims Lenhart, the senior from Charleston. We'll be back after this from your local ACC station. Another look at our Bank of America ACC Salute to Excellence question. Over the past 4 years, which 2 ACC teams rank 1 and 2 among all Division 1A programs in total defense? The answer, Florida State #1, North Carolina #2. Seminoles averaging 257 yards, Tar Heels 262 yards a game. Sims Lenhart getting set to kick off. He just nailed a 46-yard field goal for Lenhart. That's his 16th field goal of 45 yards or better. Incredible record, and each one puts him that much further ahead of the Duke record books. That's his 49th career field goal and his 8th of the season, and he hasn't missed one yet. His longest this season is 49. 44-3. Florida State on the lead, but Duke taking advantage of the turnover. Ronnie Hamilton intercepting Marcus Outson. This is Tallman Gardner, 1 yard deep. And Gardner leads Devin Pierce's tackle, and then Josh Kreider helps bring him down at the 27, actually 24-yard line. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Atlantic Coast Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. So 1st and 10. Now let's see who's out there this time. It's going to be Jared Jones. Alternating quarterbacks for Bobby Bowden. Chris Weinke has done enough damage. Oh, that's nice. Oh, Nick Maddox. True freshman from Kannapolis, North Carolina, gets out to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6, but it was a pretty 6. Kevin Lewis pulled him down.
Well, Nick has some quicks. It seems like now since Warrick done, they bring people in that have the same mannerisms. Yeah. Quick, elusive, kind of they slide and glide.
You know, the quarterbacks are tall, but their running backs are small. Ball left on the ground. Jared Jones didn't get it from center, and Duke picked it up. The Duke Blue Devils picked up by Troy Austin, the backup defensive tackle, who's giving Chris Combs a little rest here in the second half, and another turnover gives Duke the football at the Seminoles 39.
Well, so much for alternate players. I mean, this is something that I bet you disturbs the Seminole staff because their seconds get so much work. You know, this is not like guys who have played it all.
Yeah.
You expect more.
With the exception of quarterback, everybody saw some action in the first half. There's Troy Austin. Picked up the fumble. 4:41 left to go in the third quarter. Duke's got the football again, and Kevin Thompson now is going to be under center. New quarterback for the Duke Blue Devils. Thompson is a senior from Thomasville, Georgia. 3 career touchdown passes to his credit, looking for his first this year. Dwayne Epperson wrestled down by Theon Rackman, senior out of Tallahassee. Gain of about 3 on the play.
It's amazing, as opposed to the Northwestern game for Duke, they've had some success on first down. They really have.
That's true.
You know, and that's the thing that you always want. Give your offense a chance.
Bobby Campbell has performed pretty well today against some big obstacles. Now Kevin Thompson gets a look. Scotty Montgomery is split wide to the right, Flowers to the left, pitch to Epperson. Epperson is met in the backfield. Jamal Reynolds is there, but Jerry Johnson does most of the damage. And also Gerald Hudson. Jerry Johnson does most of it. He's one of the co-captains across that front line. 6'2", 280, senior from Fort Pierce, Florida.
Well, when you are stout at the down line position against the run, it just gives yourself so many options. Their three linebackers, really, I mean, they rank 1, 2, and 3 in terms of tackles on this team, and that's how you like it.
Yes, you do. You get those guys up there position too. 21 tackles for a defensive tackle in the 4th game of the season isn't bad. Thompson with play action. Sets up, fires, it is incomplete. Intended for Flowers.
Hand him open. Hand him open.
Yeah, he did. There's Kevin Thompson, senior. As we look at some scores from around the country on our Pizza Hut scoreboard, East Carolina still continuing to lead Army, still continuing to look at an unbeaten record. Kentucky over Arkansas on a surprise in the second in the SEC. Mississippi State. Michigan has tacked another score on Purdue. And here comes Sims Lenhart. A 47-yard field goal now on 4th down. Here comes the kick. It is up, and it is good. He is perfect on the season.
Strong. My goodness.
It doesn't get up as high as Janikowski's, but the result is the same, and he's yet to miss this year, and he's Duke's leading scorer. And he's hit his 9th field goal of the season, a 47-yarder, and the 17th from 45 or better for Sims Lenhart, who is battling Sebastian Janikowski kick for kick this afternoon and battling him for that Lou Groza award. Sims Lenhart getting ready to kick after his 47-yard field goal. That's going to be returned by Maddox. Maddox pushes his way upfield, gets to the 27, now the 28-yard line. So Maddox getting to work out at a variety of positions. Brought down by Luke Roush, among others, Nick Hartopoulos. Maddox remains in the game. Now let's see who's at quarterback. This will be Marcus Otson again. So Florida State now finds itself looking for its first score of the second half after putting 44 points on the board in the first 30 minutes of play. And Otson up there at quarterback last time around. He threw an interception. Here's the pitch to Maddox. Steps inside, runs into, looks like Steinbaugh. And also Kevin Lewis, Porter, and Chris Combs, Nate Krill also in there. Maddox from A.O. Brown High School in Kannapolis, North Carolina, which is just outside of Charlotte, as you look at Chris Combs.
Heard about him up in Virginia big time.
You heard about him all over the country.
Man.
He was everybody said he was the top recruit in the country. Considered North Carolina and decided to go to Florida State. Play action for Marcus Otson, and the pass to Bell is out of bounds and incomplete.
And that frustration by Otson appears that he wanted more out of the route than his throw. You know, and this is serious business because we go back to last year. Chris Weinke was injured against Virginia.
Right.
Then this team, you know, didn't take it to the next level. Now they were in the big game, but I think most people felt that had they been really better at that position, they had a much better chance to compete for the ball game. And that's why it's important now not to just throw these guys in for laughs, but they need to prove that they can play and run this offense.
Got a feeling that Otson is battling for a job there at the backup quarterback spot. Out of the shotgun, it's a jailbreak blitz, and Maddox is brought down behind the line of scrimmage at the 21-yard line by Kendall Knight, junior from Wilson, North Carolina. So it's a good defensive series there for Duke.
Hey, Duke's winning this half.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
6-0.
That's right.
Down on the scoreboard 44-6, but they've done this half, and Keith Cockrell is on the punt.
That's a detail that I think they can overlook slightly.
Yeah.
If you're on Duke's side.
kick. That's a good one. Hurdle Jack by one. There's a flag on the play. Hurdle Jack doesn't return it far. 48-yard kick by Keith Cochran.
May his space have been invaded?
Maybe. That seems to be the indication.
Gutsy.
Got to give that guy 2 yards. It certainly didn't look like he had it. Let's see what the call is going to be.
I think they'd like to have 5. Let's see.
That's the call.
Now we take a look at it. We talk about that imaginary zone. You'd like to have it about right there. Let's see if it happens. Yep. It's a good call.
So Duke has the football, a little bit better field position now at their 36-yard line. Kyle Moore is split out to the left. Watson inside him. Thompson back to throw. Fires a pass incomplete, intended for Devin Pierce, who was covered pretty well by Tommy Pollard.
I think Tommy had that one figured out.
Yeah.
Second and 10 at the 36.
And if you're Duke, you can look over there and say, hey, wait a minute. I thought they were going to rotate some people. Have we had enough of Pollard right now at 53, Simon?
Where are the twos?
He's trying to say, hey, you promised us these other guys.
They're nowhere to be seen.
Oh, man.
Jamal Reynolds is still out there.
Yeah. Petitioning Mr. Swafford next week. Oh, man.
Thompson puts it up.
Trouble.
He's looking for more, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Tay Cody. Cody, a junior from Blakely, Georgia. The 3rd interception of the day for the Seminoles. The first thrown there by Kevin Thompson. And Florida State seizes the football at their own 45-yard line.
Now watch what happens now. Watch how they feed the fire. This is not good. And again, he throws off his back foot. You got to drop this in, needle in the haystack on there. You got 3 guys in there in a great athletic move. You just love the way the Seminoles go up after the football. Now watch what happens now offensively.
Yeah.
I bet you cheeseburger on this one. It lights a fire.
I'll get that double cheeseburger.
You want that double, don't you?
Yeah,
Onions, grilled or straight?
Any way you can buy it and put it in front.
Okay, watch it.
Jared Jones is in at quarterback. And it's intercepted.
So you should have took that bet.
Darius Clark intercepts this one, and Jones has to knock him out at the 15-yard line.
How will you double?
Darius Clark.
I like it with everything. Darius Clark, who picked off 2 against Vanderbilt last week, gets another one here today.
Well, here Jones comes in and does exactly what his counterpart did. Thompson, he telegraphs the throw. Looks to where he wants to go. Great break and jump on it by Clark. The Hammerman comes up big now, and a couple last week.
That's right. He's got 6 for his career and 3 on the season. And Duke's got the football again, this time in an ideal scoring position in the red zone at the 15-yard line of Florida State. 44-6, approaching the final minute here in the 3rd quarter.
Now let's see if they try to run the ball a little bit more on this one.
Got Kennedy in at fullback. Latavius Wilkes is back there. 3 wide outs now for Kevin Thompson. Who's
Get rid of it.
Yep. They'll tuck it under and run. Sees the first down. Touchdown, Duke. The Blue Devils score. Kevin Thompson from 15 yards out after the interception by Darius Clark. He saw all kinds of daylight over there on the left sideline. Took it in. And Duke's got 6 more on the board.
Well, Jamal Reynolds had made a living all afternoon flying upfield, top of your screen, and you can look at it. Wes White's in a battle. That time he won it.
Sims Lenhart is on to kick the point after. He's hit 47 straight. Kick is up and it is good. So everything that Lenhart has sent from the tee has gone through the uprights, and the Duke Blue Devils got a measure of pride here, and they trail here 44-13 on Kevin Thompson's touchdown run of 15 yards.
It really looks like those first teamers. I've seen Laveranues Coles get up, put his helmet on. Chris Weinke has put his helmet on, started stretching. You might see some first teamers back in the game here next series.
You got an upset Bobby Bowden over there on the sidelines. Just there you see.
And he has every right to be.
Yes, he does.
You know,
he has sought some answers here this afternoon from his second and third unit quarterbacks and didn't get it. Now let's go to Mike Hogwood again, who's got Bobby Bowden.
Coach Bowden, Coach looks like you're going to put a few first teamers back in.
I've got to. I mean, this is ridiculous. We've been shut out the third quarter, and we got to do something. We need to get momentum back, you know, but they're completely killing our second unit.
Do you worry about that when you put the second team in, that you may lose a little sharpness or something, and you've got to keep this team sharp?
That's true. Now, that's exactly right. Now your first unit comes back in, and maybe they're cold. That's the thing. We never could get hot again last week after we did that.
All right, we'll see what they can do, but as you heard, first teamers are back in business.
Back in business again. Sims Lenhard will kick off. Back to receive.
And that's why, as if you're a player, the only way you know you're out of the game for sure is if you're in street clothes. To me, if you have that helmet on, you need to be prepared to go in at any time.
Well, Peter Warrick is ready to go in. He won't be on this kick return team. Laveranues Coles and Jermaine Stringer will handle these duties. Coles, mind you, has one career kickoff return for a touchdown. Only the second since Bobby Bowden has been at Florida State. This one's going to be a low line driver. And Stringer will deal with it somehow.
Real interesting.
Boy. Duke will get back. Fred Harris slows him down, and they'll get him down at the 1 yard line.
Now, if I'm Duke, I'm pleased to see the number ones back in. You talked about pride. Well, now you get a chance to go out and prove it. You know, they're putting the twos in against your ones. Now you bring the ones back in. Now you want to see if you can snuff them.
It's a on back. On back, guys. Bring the ones back in, and they are.
We got it going.
Chris Weinke is back on the field. Dugans and Warrick are the wide receivers.
This is trash talking time now.
That's right. Warrick is, I don't know if he's talking to Lamar Grant or what. Here comes Weinke. The 1.5. He'll hand off. That looks like game 4. Nope, Travis Minor. 4-yard line. Mike Steinball has played some good football this afternoon. Senior middle guard out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you know, Bob Trout's group right now can grow up big time. You talk about, you know, defining moments in your team and in the history and the season. Buddy, they get a 3 and punt on this one. And that's, you know, it's just an excitement on Duke's side like
Your
that.
offense should have a good chance to get some good field position. Second down and 8. Wayne pass complete to Dugans. But a quick tackle there by Ronnie Hamilton at the 8-yard line. And that's a completion of about 4. It'll be shy of the first down as we tick down time here in the third quarter. It comes to an end, and it's been all Duke in the third as they've converted some touchdown or some interceptions into touchdowns and field goals. And they've got ourselves a ball game here coming into the fourth. 44-13. Welcome back to Jacksonville. The fourth quarter sees the situation changing somewhat. Duke outscored Florida State 13-0 in that third, and we are 44-13 in favor of the Seminoles. It's still a pretty big margin for Florida State, but Bobby Bowden is in ill favor right now. He is unhappy with his second unit. He's got his first unit back in there, looking at a 3rd and 2 from his own 8-yard line. Chris Weinke, big blitz is on by Lewis. The pass complete. And it's going to be good for the first down at the 25-yard line to Peter Warrick. Good tackle made on the play, Darius Clark.
What we've already noticed is just a bit more. They've closed the cushion. I mean, now it's a catch and a hit. Before it was a catch, a turn, and a tackle.
Yeah. 1st and 10. Steve Martin, Doc Walker, Mike Hogwood here in Jacksonville. Sunny October afternoon. Jefferson Pilot Sports brings you ACC football. Weinke on 1st and 10. Flare pass to Dugans. He pushes aside Jones and is on his way. Hamilton may be able to catch him. Stringer throws a block. He's going all the way. Touchdown. .98 yards, the last 84 covered by that man, Ron Dugans. on the 5th touchdown pass of the day from Chris Weinke. Great block by Jermaine Stringer. Helped keep Ronnie Hamilton off the scene and put Bobby Bowden in a better frame of mind here as the Seminoles lead 51-13. Janikowski's kick will be returned by Erdeljak. And Erdeljak behind the block of Richmond Flowers. And he's collected there at the 15-yard line. Let's look at our John Hancock stats through 3 quarters of play. Still heavily in favor of Florida State, but Duke picked up the pace as far as their passing offense.
Yeah, no, they did. And now we're going to find out what happens after they take a blow. You give up a few more points. Now the offense, who has some bright moments, you want to come in and you know you're going to take a tough shot by the Seminole defense.
Kevin Thompson has a run for a score. His 3rd touchdown of the season, and their only one this afternoon. As Autopolis in motion, he's back to pass. Pumps once, now has to get out of there. And gets a little bit of yardage. Jamal Reynolds wrestled him down after he got across the line of scrimmage to the 16-yard line.
Take the pocket. Get a little twist up front. Boy, I'll tell you what. It can get really tight.
Yeah. Jamal Reynolds has been superb this afternoon. Theon Rackley helped out on the tackle. 2nd down. Call it 9. Back to throw. 7-step drop. Thompson complete. He goes to his tight end, Dupree. Much yardage there, about 3 to the 19. Derek Gibson on the tackle for Florida State.
We've been waiting on Dupree to get a little more involved in this offense. Really, in the first half, they were trying to get things on the outside, and we saw Dupree, you know, with some space inside, but they never really looked his way.
Well, they throw it to him there for only the 7th time this season. And it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen him come up with some big ones. He just has some bad luck after catches. He makes a nice catch, and
yep,
he's had a hard time holding on.
3rd down and 3 for Duke after the 21. A couple extra yards there. Thompson with the pass, and this time he goes to Kennedy as fullback, and he's out to the 29-yard line where he's picked up a 1st down. Mario Edwards in on the tackle. Clayton Kennedy, freshman from Detroit, making the reception. We have a player down. Senior tight end from Sefner, Florida. 1st and 10 for Kevin Thompson and the Duke Blue Devils at their own 29, and Erdeljak has moved early before the play. The pass is going to be intended for Ben Watson, backup tight end. This is going to be against Duke. That'll take this play back and move it to 1st and 15. It was incomplete. Erdeljak was a count ahead of the play. Jim Knight to make the call here.
Illegal motion by the offense. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So it's refused by Florida State, so it just takes the down away. 2nd down and 10. They'll accept the result of the play, and Kevin Thompson gets his call from Carl Franks. Sends Troy Andrew out to snap, and Flowers is going to be split out to the right side. 3 wide receivers, including the tight end up. Kyle Moore is up to the wide side of the field. Looking that way is Thompson, but he won't get this one away. And Benford. Tony Benford and Octavius Jackson in on the tackle on the sack that time for Florida State.
Good pressure all the way across the board. You love it when you see all 4 down linemen kind of get there right at about the same time. Equal amount of pressure. A lot of that had to do with his coverage as well, being the coverage sack.
You talked with Joe DeLamalore, the tight ends coach. We talked about what Florida State does with their defensive front 4. It's not very complicated.
They don't mess around.
No, they just said we are going after the quarterback, and they are going after him again. And that is Tommy Pollard. Polley with a big sack back to the 16. They got Duke going in reverse now.
Yeah. Oh, Polley's reckless.
Yep.
He's having a heck of a game.
Yeah, some of the ones are back.
He's going to fill up that helmet before this is over with. You got to give your quarterback a chance. Boy, I tell you, Wes White is real fortunate that he didn't get rolled up on the back of his leg.
Kevin Thompson had no chance that time. Brian Morton back in punt formation.
But you know, we haven't had a lot of those today, Steve.
Nope. Reggie Durden is going to return. What a kick by Morton. And Durden.
That hit him? I might have hit him.
He might have, and that's probably why he came back to take it. He thought of getting away from it. He's down at the 40-yard line. Timeout on the field with 10:44 left to go here in the fourth. Florida State 51, Duke 13. We'll be right back. The ultimate drive of the game. And Winke's back at quarterback. The handoff now goes to Cheney. Jeff Cheney. After Cheney's gain. Wide receivers out. Winke to pass. Pass is tipped and it's intercepted. And taken by Darius Clark. Clark pushed out of bounds at the 31, the 32-yard line. And it's the third interception of the second half. And now every Florida State quarterback has shared in the interceptions this afternoon. Who tipped the ball? Charles Porter tipped the ball. That kept it alive for Darius Clark for the pick, his second of the day.
Got to give these guys a lot of credit in blue. They just continue to compete. And there's, you know, the ball is tipped, and you get up, you want to catch it at its highest point, you know, and be an athlete. I know Clark is a heck of a player.
Second week in a row that he's had 2 picks. Got it against Vanderbilt last week, 2 more here against Florida State, and the Duke offense is back out on the field, and they're in Florida State territory at the 33. Flowers and Montgomery are split wide to the right. Jack to the left for Kevin Thompson. Short drop, the pass deflected, and it's deflected there by Alonzo Jackson. Number 48, Alonzo Jackson.
For number 30, Devin Pierce.
Devin Pierce, the intended receiver, out of the fullback spot.
At the 33.
Duke's got to, you know, just try to maintain some balance. You need a play now, a key breaker, because they are just teeing off now. And maybe you run a draw, you do something to try to pop one past them, or take a shot downfield. We haven't heard Montgomery, or really we haven't heard Flowers mentioned lately.
Nope. Montgomery is the outside receiver to the top of your screen. Kevin Thompson here looking at 2nd and 10 for the Florida State 33. They'll keep it on the ground. Dwayne Epperson runs into Theon Rackley. Derek Gibson in there on the stop as well. It's a gain on the play of 3 to the 30.
Tackled at the 30-yard line by Theon Rackley. 3rd down and 7.
Derek Gibson coming out on the tackle there. 3rd down coming, 51-13. Florida State in the lead, but Bobby Bowden is not happy with the way things have gone in the second half. 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, and only 1 touchdown in the second half after putting 44 points on the board in the first half. Blitz is on. Getting rid of it is Thompson, intended for Montgomery. And that was a safety blitz coming in there with Sean Key.
At least they were, this time, they were all on the same page. Remember last time they ran this and he had no help. So you have to sense it. It's there now. Get it up and out of there. If you get it, if you throw it a little sooner, you can put a little more air on it, and then Scotty can make an adjustment.
He did well enough to avoid the sack and the interception, and Sims Lenhart is on for his 3rd field goal of the day. And this will be his longest attempt of the afternoon. He's hit from 46 and 47. This is 48. He's hit all 9 of his field goal attempts of the year. Here comes the kick. It is up. And it is good.
It's good.
Sims Lenhart, 48 yards, 1 shy of his season high. And the Duke Blue Devils cash in on their 3rd interception of the second half, trailing 51-16. Duke turns the 4th Florida State turnover of the second half into a Sims Lenhart 48-yard field goal. So with 9 minutes left in the 4th, it's the Seminoles over the Blue Devils 51-16. And Lenhart getting ready to kick off again. We didn't think we'd see him at all this afternoon the way it was going.
Well, they gave up 1 opportunity. They were inside the 5 and went for it.
Yep.
And I thought that was a good move at the
Back
time.
to the Seminoles, number 7.
But Sims is awful good.
Well, Serena Williams' son, Laveranues Coles, at the bottom of your screen. Salmon Gardner is at the top, and they await the kick of Sims Lenhart. There's Gardner. Florida State getting ready for Miami next week. For Duke, they head to Virginia. For us, we head to Wake Forest. Wake Forest, Maryland. Here comes Lenhart. The kick will send Gardner 3 yards deep, and he'll come out. Blocked the point of attack, but good penetration by Duke to knock him down at the 14-yard line. Let's look at Florida State in the second half. Bob Trott will look at his defensive unit and he'll say, when you go to Virginia, remember what you did here. They've held Florida State to 2 punts and 4 turnovers, just 1 touchdown, that 84-yard strike to Ron Dugans. And likewise, Bobby Bowden will say, hey, don't get so full of yourselves next week. Good defensive team caused all of our units trouble.
Yeah, that'll gear them up for Miami.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, give me some coaching pluses for him. He can get out there and get after him.
It's first down for Florida State. And Marcus Outson is back in at quarterback. Each of the Florida State quarterbacks, Jared Jones, Chris Weinke, and Marcus Outson have thrown interceptions. Outson on the carry, over the 20, up to the 22. Todd DeLamalore on the tackle. You recognize that name. His father, Joe DeLamalore, 6-time All-Pro.
Oh, boy.
Offensive lineman.
He was rugged.
And he's also the tight ends coach at Duke. Yes, he was.
It's a heck of a line, man. McKenzie and blocking for Juice. And those guys were churning up the yards.
Like a plow. Second down and 1. Amen. Look right at the center. Eric Thomas. Hand off for the first down.
Jeff Cheney.
That'll be Jeff Cheney.
Brought down to 26
Blue Devil, you know, he hadn't had to do too many push-ups. He said, give me mercy.
It reminds me of someone that's a part of our group.
Should I venture a guess?
Let's take a shot at it.
You know, producer?
Absolutely.
Scott Snyder?
He does. Doesn't he remind you of Scott Snyder?
Is he moonlighting? Isn't one job enough? First and 10 from the 27-yard line. Here comes the pitch, and it's Cheney looking for light at the corner. Lamar Grant will steer him out of bounds.
It's good D.
At the 29-yard line. Gain of about 2.
Good defense. Well, Lamar Grant, man, you know, for his first game back, he has been active. You know, when a young man is disciplined and he's on the scout team, but yet he's with the team, he's practicing every day, you know, hoping he's trying to earn his way back, and then he does. He didn't leave any effort in the locker room. He's competed.
He played Warrick hard, picked up some penalties, playing it real close. But he was there. Instead of giving up 6 or giving up a big gain, he took the 15 instead. Hodson, hand off to Cheney, hit in the backfield, and a great hit there by Charles Porter. Sophomore from Columbia, Maryland, who's played strong in place of the injured Gannon Shepard. He gets a knock him back.
Third down.
I don't know if Duke keeps track of that.
26-yard
Yeah,
line.
well, was he nicked up? No, he's having fun. He looks like he's, oh, no, that's a grimace.
Yeah.
You can't tell sometimes the guys he's smiling or might have pinched up.
That helmet might have got a little tight on that forehead on that hit. I'm sure Jeff Cheney feels the same way. Third down and 12 to the loss of 2. Florida State up big here, 51-16. And this play will be whistled dead at the start. Flag on the play. Oh boy, that won't make Bobby any happier. He's been unhappy in the second half. His team's been outscored 16-7. There have been numerous mistakes, 4 turnovers. There he is. Ooh. Bobby has a tradition. He talks to he gives kind of a freewheeling press conference on Sunday morning following games. Has the press over for breakfast. And do it over in Tallahassee. And I would like to, wish we could go over there and be a part of that one. I think there'd be a little salt in those grits tomorrow.
I believe it's a good breakfast though if Bobby's around.
Yep. Another handoff that goes for very little. And I think this is Cheney again. No, it's Davey Ford, and he's brought down by Nate Krill.
Yeah, Krill's in there. Okomza, he's around somewhere at the bottom.
Let's take a look at some scores from around the country. It's a busy Saturday afternoon, and East Carolina continues to roll. Army can't stop them today. In the third, Kentucky still surprising Arkansas. Mississippi State has Vanderbilt scoreless. And Michigan continues to solidify their hold. Michigan State romping over Iowa. And here's Keith Cottrell's kick. Turtlejack will watch it go out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Timeout on the field with 5:46 left to play here in the fourth. Seminoles up big, but Duke with field position and the football. So a nice shot just a moment ago of the landing area right along the St. Johns River here in Jacksonville. It's full of a lot of people, and we were among them last night.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
1st and 10, Duke. Oh, Duke has had some pretty good field position. They've started 3 drives in the second half in Florida State territory. Here's Thompson, pass to Hartopoulos is complete. And he's in FSU territory again at the 42. Tay Cody on the tackle, but not before a 14-yard gain by Nick Hartopoulos.
That's a real nice little timing play. Slant.
Kevin Thompson's done a pretty good job here. He's had some good opportunities. 4 turnovers have helped his cause, giving him good field position. 3 wideouts for him now here on 1st and 10 at the Florida State 42. Thompson back to throw. The pass is bobbled there. Should have been caught by Devin Pierce.
Yeah, Devin had a little green out in front of him. Guy's been hit all day. And all of a sudden, because he can sense it. He's about to make a play.
Yep, about to make a play. Second down. Unable to get it done. Chris Woods applying the pressure. Second down coming here, and 10 from the 42, Florida State. Kevin Thompson, the handoff goes to Epperson. And Epperson gets it to the 39-yard line. Let's take a look at our Amoco play of the game. And it is Florida State's Peter Warrick. He can run, he can throw, he can catch. This time the throw to Laveranues Coles, a 35-yard touchdown, his first career touchdown pass. That's the new wrinkle that Bobby Bowden wanted to introduce Peter Warrick to. He's thrown for 1 touchdown, he's caught 3 touchdown passes, and that's our Amoco play of the game. 3rd down 6 for Duke. Pass to the flats is complete to the tight end Watson, and he's driven out of bounds just after he picked up the first down to the 31-yard line. And the tackle, the play made by Todd Fryer. So Duke gets another first down. 4:34 left to go.
You know, it doesn't always have to be complicated, but you have to read the defense. In that time, it was a good recognition. He saw it, he tossed the ball out, he moved the chains.
That's what Paul Franks had hoped the Blue Devils would do in the first half. 3 wideouts again for Thompson. 1st and 10, 31. And off now goes to Epperson. Picks his way back to the hole, but it is driven back by Leon Rackley at the 30-yard line. That'll give him a gain of 1, and also Octavius Jackson on the play.
He's not through.
No, he's not. Second down. Thompson goes to throw, throws to Pierce. He catches this one, has the first down inside the Florida State 20. Fryer in on the tackle, along with Tay Cody, and it's down to the 17.
Well, when you get the 2 outside guys with speed like Montgomery and Flowers, it opens up some things for the tight end and back. And this is real simple. He's shown a knack now to find the sweet spot, made up for that earlier drop, and he has become quite productive.
14 yards on the play, in fact, down to the 17. Thompson on the quick count, throws, and it's complete. Touchdown to Richmond Flowers. The defender fell down on the play, and Flowers was there, wide open at the pylon.
Love the floating pocket. Get out on the edge. When you're playing a team like Florida State, try to pin some of those werewolves inside, And this is just an athlete making a play on the ball. Let's see what happens. Yep, get a little stumbling going on there. Darden couldn't save it, and that's why you play the game.
Kevin Thompson's 5th career touchdown pass. Here's the extra point by Sims Lenhart. It is good. And the Blue Devils with a measure of pride here. Hit 23 points on the scoreboard. Nobody scored as much against Florida State since Georgia Tech. We'll be back after these messages from your local ACC station. Back here in the 4th quarter, Sims Lenhart to kick off after the Richmond Flowers touchdown reception of 17 yards from Kevin Thompson. And this is going to be Nick Maddox, 5 yards deep. Maddox, a true freshman from the state of North Carolina, surges up over the 20-yard line to the 23. Well, now, Doc, if you're Carl Franks and you're going to Virginia next weekend and you've seen Kevin Thompson move this team down the field, who do you start? When you got Romine healthy?
I think you have to settle it in practice.
Yeah.
And if Spencer is healthy, then he would probably get the nod.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, coaches don't like to have guys lose their job.
No. Marcus Outson is auditioning for that backup job behind Chris Weinke. Here comes the reverse. Jermaine Stringer. He turns Fred Harris around and gets the first down. Out over the 34 to the 35-yard line. Quentin Hawley brought him down. So the wrinkles are still there in Florida State's playbook.
Well, you know this. With Bobby and Mark Rick, they're going to do some interesting things. Watch right there. See the block by the quarterback. Outson gets the block. That's the new deal now. And a lot of good quarterbacks do it. We saw Flutie on Monday night. Mile got thighs, but he would always go out and block on those reverses to Art Monk. And you like to see that. Players like to see the quarterback go out and throw his body around.
It's 6'4", 230.
Yeah, a lot of body.
Get somebody's way. Here's Outson to pass, and the pass is complete.
Nice throw. Very nice throw.
Talman Gardner. He gets the completion, and he's in Duke territory at the 45-yard line. It's a nice completion of about 25 yards. So the second unit starting to get it done. Bobby Bowden's message is getting through.
I don't think they had an option.
No, there
I
was.
think Bobby made that very clear.
There were no alternatives. Morgan split wide to the top, Stringer to the left. Here comes the reverse to Morgan. He's tripped up there and finally brought down by Chris Combs. Back to the 50-yard line. It's going to be a loss on the play of 5.
Combs, you look at his pants, he is a warrior. He's been in there going after it. You know, you get a little tired late in the game to start a little razzle-dazzle. Well, that was nice just to keep the exchange.
That's Jamin Small, or Jamian Small, Pontiac, Michigan, who helped Chris Combs make the tackle. So Duke going down to their 2s and 3s now. Second down, 15. They're at midfield. Florida State leading here, 51-23. Screen pass tipped by Darius Clark. Well, you said he wasn't done yet.
No, he's not. Good read on that.
Batted away by number 13.
Intended for Cheney.
Incomplete.
So the screen doesn't go, and it's third down. And 14 yards to go here for Florida State. Carl Franks happy at what his offense has been able to do in the second half. Got to be pleased pretty much with what his defense has done pretty much all game.
Well, I would agree. You said it best to start the second half. It's about pride.
Yeah.
You know, and you can throw scores out, crowds out, everything. But these guys, you play the game, you know, for pride.
Bobby Bowden back on the headset here. 3rd and 14. Play action. Blitz is on. He reads it, but he's not able to hit Anquan Boldin.
Lucky, too, because Lamar Grant did not take a real good angle in on that. That might have been a catch in big game.
Safety blitz by Darius Clark, who's been everywhere. 4th down. Punting unit is on again. And we've got a new punter here for Florida State, so this will be Randy Golightly, freshman from Tallahassee. Keith Cottrell has seen the end of his day. Ronnie Hamilton is back to receive. Hamilton brought down there in no man's land down to the 5-yard line. 39-yard punt by Golightly. Chris Hope downs Ronnie Hamilton after he pulled down the football at the 8. And that's where Duke will have it, 1st and 10. At Virginia, Maryland, and Florida. It's a tough way home for Florida State. Really.
Oh, it is. They're going to have to climb it, but they're accustomed to it. Yep. That's how you build. Number 1 team in the nation. You're going to go out and prove it every week.
Latavius Wilkes gets the handoff. You know, that brings to mind, they had a schedule one time in the month of October back in 1981. I think it was Ohio State on the road, Notre Dame on the road. I think somebody else big in there, Tennessee on the road. All road games against nationally ranked powers.
Yeah, no, they'd go out and do it. They'd never shied away.
And that's the way Bobby Bowden built this program, from a powerful independent into the ACC. And he did it by playing a lot of days on the road in lonely places like Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's how you can get only in front of 107,000 people.
Well, players like to play in big games. So when you're recruiting, you can tell a young fella, hey, we're going to the big house, play up State College. They like it. Good players don't shy away from it, but I think they're attracted to it.
That's how he built it. And now it's coming in reverse. The big people are coming to play Florida State, and then you get an opportunity to play games like this in Jacksonville on a neutral site. You really pick up an additional home game.
And you also have to win a few of those games on the road.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
They did. They won their share. And that's why they're the best program in the country as far as record in the 90s. Last play of the game right here. And that'll pretty much do it. Latavius Wilkes carries inside the 5, and Florida State wins it. 51-23. Next week will be from Winston-Salem, Maryland, taking on Wake Forest. You've been watching Jefferson Pilot Sports exclusive coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football from Jacksonville.